the Strokes, and last night. We just had a call, didn't we? From Johnny Mango.
Oh yeah, Johnny Mango, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, old the Mankster. And he informed me that one of the Wurzels is dead, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, Adge Cutler, who was the lead man, I think.
Yeah. He said he died the most rock and roll death you can die. He said he was apparently driving on a terrible cocktail of cider and other things, presumably.
Yeah.
Apples and jams.
Yeah.
And he crashed into a tractor. Now, I wonder, is that true? JM's not winding me up.
Yeah,
I hope the Mango Boy's not having a laugh at me. Is that true? One of the Wurzels died by tractor. Did he? Is that true? So give us a call. What's the number again, Carl?
08700 800 1234.
If so, I'm sorry that I disrespected them. I didn't know.
Could you imagine?
Oh God.
If, right, say if like you're the driver of the tractor, and you kill someone, you go, oh God, I've killed someone, and then you look and it's someone famous.
Yeah, or Adge Cutler. Yeah, go on, what was your point?
No, it's just like, not
terrifying,
only
yeah.
it's like you've killed someone, then you look.
But yeah, I know what you mean,
And
actually.
what makes it even worse? And what makes it even worse? They were rich.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, but say if it was someone who's like really big in the world.
No, that is I quite like that. It's an interesting point,
Oh,
that.
that's your bag. No wonder I can't find what I'm looking for.
Oh, right, well...
As Bono said.
Did you bring a bag?
Yeah. Sorry,
Is that under there, Rick?
sorry about this. I'm not
Well,
ignoring.
this is getting a bit sloppy here.
No, it's not. No,
it is, Rick. It's getting sloppy.
It's never got sloppy before. No, I've got a list here because we went to this award ceremony in the week. We were up for an award.
Well, I have to explain it to Carl because basically we were up for an award and it's called the Trick Awards. Now, Trick stands for Television and Radio Industries Club Annual Awards, right?
We've never heard of it either.
We've never heard of it. It's some kind of like television radio industry club. That's what
Yeah, that's the clue, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. So, but we don't want to. I'm not trying to slag off the award because it was, it was a big thing, and they really made an effort, and it was really nice. Food was brilliant. It was at the Grosvenor House Hotel, really nice do, and lots of industry people in that there. It was really classy.
We got there nice and early, so we were there for a good 4 hours
before we had to sit down. But it was just kind of surreal. It was just a bit weird because it was packed with the cream. I'm literally the cream. Big names, Martin Kemp, one of the first people I saw, came in like big TV, radio industry names, on-screen talent, behind-the-scenes people.
John Barnes
was there.
Beadle was there.
Sir Cliff Richard was there.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so the voice comes on and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chairman of the president of the Trick Awards." And we had to stand up. All of these people had to stand up and give a standing ovation as he walked to his table to Tom O'Connor, former presenter of Crosswits.
You're joking.
No.
He's the president.
And he came out, he told a few gags, sort of like, it was like, straight away, it was, old school stuff. You want to thank the ladies, because, it was nothing without the ladies, all the lovely ladies here. And we went for a joke. No. just thanking the ladies.
Well, you're forgetting that just prior to that, he said grace.
Oh, he said grace.
Before we ate.
Right? It was me, Steve, and Ash, our producer, the little, disabled fella, right? And he's there in his wheelchair, and there's me and Steve. We're standing up during
By the way,
grace.
can I just stop you there?
Go on.
Saw someone in the week, and,
Sorry, did we bore you?
No. You just reminded me then about the little producer who's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Last week you said, blah, 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 and our producer who's in a wheelchair got a text from someone saying, what's happened to you? They thought you were talking about me.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh.
You're handicapped in a different way.
So go on.
And, Tom O'Connor, he said, thank you, God, for...
We thought this was a joke initially. We thought it was going to be like a kind of cheeky gag.
That's why we were laughing out loud.
That's why we were laughing raucously.
But anyway, and then he went, thank you, God, for this, and help those who walk alone. And Ash went, what about those that don't walk at all? He said, I've never been left out of grace before.
But we had to have kind of like bowed our heads slightly, and did we say amen? I know that we were a lot of people did.
I'm pretty sure
Cliff,
I
think, probably chimed in there.
Yeah.
And,
he sang it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
like Mariah Carey.
So anyway, but before, again, you see, what Ricky's forgotten is before Tom took to the stage, this guy walks up there, I don't know who he is, says, there's a lot of people here this afternoon, it's a wonderful event, but of course there's a load of celebrities as well.
He said, thank you for all the celebrities that have turned up. And then he went, table 77, Mr. Russ Abbott, and we all round of applause. Can we have the spotlight there?
Russ Abbott, by the way, smoking a pipe. Actually, he looked like a bit like Barrett Holmes, his hilarious Sherlock Holmes character.
Then he went, table 107, the cast of Bad Girls. Clap.
We'll have to clap.
And then he went, table 5, Alice Beer. Clap.
Slightly smaller clapping.
Yeah. And it's just like, and I thought, when is this gonna...
He went through every single celebrity in the room.
And there were about, 100.
Table 53, John Inman, everyone. It's John Inman. Round of applause.
Yeah, and, table 70, Mr. Simon Cowell. Boo.
Yeah, there was booing there.
And they all booed him.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was a joke. Ironic booing, I think.
Did they cheer for Foxy? Was he on the table?
We didn't see Foxy.
Foxy wasn't there. He was doing his show. When they went up, they won an award, Cowell and Waterman and Chapman.
Table 43. Peter Sissons, everyone. Peter Sissons. Went through every single name. Ricky got so paranoid they might mention him that we kind of legged it upstairs and were watching from the balconies. They shone the spotlight on our table. And it was largely empty. That was particularly fun. But then at the end, Sir Cliff got up there, right? Because Sir Cliff was giving out the Lifetime Achievement Award, right? He gets up, he used to speak, he goes, this is a personal friend of mine, a 7 days a week friend. Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Mrs. Gloria Hunniford. Right? We immediately start thinking what exactly were her lifetime achievements.
I think living that long.
That's pretty much it. I don't know what it is she's done,
I
Gloria
can tell you
Hunniford.
what she does.
I don't exactly, I know she used to have a Radio 2 show, I don't think that's
We're
on
not dissing
anymore.
her. We're not dissing anyone.
good luck
We're
to
not taking the mick out of anyone, but
But anyway,
it was just a strange event.
But Gloria got taken unawares by this and started to ad-lib a speech, right? And I swear to God, about 12 minutes in, she was telling us how, and I can tell you now if you're interested, her lovely daughter Karen is currently in Australia, it's partly work, it's partly a holiday, Carl, and she's having a whale of a time, but she's not spoken to her for ages.
And then she went, actually she's been there for a long time.
Yeah,
and it's like, I was thought she was going to go, she doesn't call, you do that, you get a Blue Peter, and this is how she...
We thought she was going to get photos out maybe, start showing it.
It was a nice event, and everyone there, Henry Cooper was there. So Henry Cooper.
It was so good because every single element as well was sponsored by someone.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the menu, I've got the programme here, and the menu, right, the pudding is sponsored by Electrolux.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had a pudding sponsored by Electrolux.
I was sponsored by Zanussi.
When everyone was doing the prayers, did you look at them with their eyes shut, like you did at school?
What do you mean?
Well, when you had
Did you look at someone with your eyes shut?
No, like you'd do that. You'd do your hands together.
Yeah.
And you sort of look at people with their eyes shut and think that's what they look like when they're sleeping.
Play record.
Can you ever do that?
Table 60. Lisa Tarbuck. That's corner shop. Lessons learned from Rocky 1 to Rocky. I love that guitar. That's great. It's real glam rock. That's T-Rex and Bowie. I was gonna play something from Ziggy Stardust today, but instead I brought in a different album. I want to play a bit of Bowie. Is that all right?
Oh, of course, yeah, always.
Yeah, bit of Beatles. Still to come up, by the way. We with the education of Carl. Last week he did Che Guevara. He did very well. Before that, the week before that, you learned all about Rasputin, didn't you? And this week you've been studying Hitler, haven't you? How does that go? How do you reckon that?
It's a bit tough.
Okay.
I mean, I'll give you the full story later, Steve. Do you know much about him?
No.
So, they're all linked. All these stories I've been reading, they've all got a similar sort of thing going through them. They're born, they have a bit of a tough upbringing. Things aren't going well, and they seem to take it out on other people.
Okay.
Right, I'll tell you more later.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can... I mean, I don't think Hitler and Che Guevara...
It's the same thing. Che Guevara, when he was a kid, had, like, asthma, right? He wasn't an happy kid. Hitler, he
only had one ball.
Well, I was trying to find about that.
Yeah, seriously, he phoned me up in the week. I said, how's it going? He went, I've just skimmed it. I was looking for the testicle thing. Now, I don't know if they left that out, or it's not true.
Right.
So he was trying to look up that Hitler has only got one ball.
I think they only did it to wind him up. Because it's like, you might be taking over the world, but we're all saying you've only got one testicle.
Sure.
And it's
so did you look in the index and it's sort of Hitler, Adolf, family life, early childhood, testicles? Testicles, absence of.
Sort of skimmed through, because...
One of. Mother, brackets other.
Yeah.
Albert Hall.
Yeah.
The only thing I could find was at one point in like, when he was trying to run the place, there was a meeting going on, and somebody had put a bag in the meeting room and it blew up.
Yeah,
and
but the
I'm wondering
table
whether it was under the
protected him.
table. Yeah, but...
What, you're wondering if it blew a testicle?
It was the testicle was under the table.
No, the bag blew off the ball.
No, the ball sack was probably hanging below the protective top, and so that's where he could have lost.
But why would he have only just lost the one?
Because the
way he was sitting.
Cross-legged or something. Sure. Okay. Well, I mean, again, last week we had a Che Guevara expert phoned up. Maybe they could, maybe there's a Hitler expert this time who could maybe phone up and confirm the testicle theory.
Yeah.
What's the number again, Carl?
Oh wait, 700, 800, 1234.
You need to have at least done a PhD or something.
I don't think we should invite calls about Hitler. I think we're asking for trouble.
No, I'm talking about someone who's done a study of him and who's done a PhD.
Oh, okay.
I'm not talking about any old nutter.
And also, Carl's lottery numbers. He's a little bit more confident this week.
Okay, good.
He went there more like it, and I looked at him and I laughed. He went, no. Even Suzanne said I'm on more on the right lines there. Is there anyone who has done a degree in maths or A-level maths that can bear? Carl won't believe this, right? Carl thinks I was trying to. I know I was partly doing it to confuse him, just see that look on his face like a cat, right? But there is the chances with a random numbers, for example, the lottery, of getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are no greater than any other single combination.
Right.
Now that's true. I don't mean you're more likely to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 than any other combination put together, but than any other individual combination, they're all equal. It's counterintuitive, I know. I know you think that to get a run of 1 to 6 is less likely than anything else, but it's not. Any named combination, it's not, Carl. If there's a probability...
Well, it's never happened. Yeah, it's never happened.
Yeah, but there's any number of combinations that
never happened. Every one of those combinations that have come up have happened, and they're just as likely or unlikely as any other combination, right? It's just that you feel intuitively, right, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is less likely than 1, 7, 12, 34, 60. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't win.
Play record.
Okay.
Wu-Tang Clan, Uzi, on XFM 104.9. Well, here we are, the day before St Patrick's Day.
Oh, hooray! Brilliant!
Guinness, etc.
I hate English people, I should say, who are obsessed with celebrating St Patrick's Day. You know, all crazy. It's like Chris Evans used to rave on about it. We're going to Dublin, we're going to get drunk, wow. It's like, it means nothing to
I think
English
XFM
people,
just did that, to be
honest.
honest.
Well, yeah, exactly. Just as bad.
Careful, they are employers. You don't want to annoy them. What would we do without this?
Well, that's true. Yeah, have an enjoyable Saturday.
No, this is my favourite 2 hours. You like this, don't you?
Well, I don't know.
We can't do this through May and June.
No, we'll be gone.
We've got to record the second series of The Office. What are we going to do, Carl? What are you going to do on a Saturday?
Host the show yourself?
Doing it on my own.
Yeah.
You are not.
Are you seriously thinking of it? Have they asked you to do
made you
it?
everything you...
Why would you not think about it?
Because I've been there, done that.
Next challenge, please!
Yeah. Oh dear. Do you know what St Patrick did? Why he was revered as a saint and everything? What was he famous for in Ireland? He rid Ireland of something.
I don't know, but I bet he started off with something odd happening in his life.
What, you think he had asthma or something as a kid?
They all do.
And he took it out on what, though?
What did he do? Exactly, he took it out on something. What did he do? What did he rid Ireland of?
St Patrick.
St Patrick.
This is why we're going to get crazy and drunk tomorrow. This is why we're also happy to celebrate his anniversary, or whatever it is we're celebrating.
That's why we have a crack.
Yeah, this is why we don't bother to celebrate, the birthdays of James Joyce, one of the great novelists of this century, or Samuel Beckett, one of the great playwrights. We actually celebrate this man, St Patrick, the man who did what?
Don't diss him. He did a good job of it as well, because there's none there now. There are none of these in Ireland. So he rid Ireland of something.
Come on, Carl. Think of something. Just give us an answer.
He went round on a horse whacking them and...
He went on a horse whacking them.
Yeah.
What was it, Carl?
What did he rid Ireland of?
Went on a horse. Foxes. I don't know.
No, you're on the right lines.
On the right lines.
It
was an animal.
Oh. Bears.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was bears.
Wow! It was snakes.
Right.
And there are no snakes in Ireland.
He rid Ireland of all the snakes.
Yeah.
Who did it here then? Because there isn't that many.
Well, I think he had a stab at it over here as well, but got tired and went back.
Yeah.
That's why there's just a few snakes here.
Is
it true that there are no snakes in Ireland?
I think it is. I think if someone called this...
And what is there any historical evidence for St Patrick ridding them of... I mean, how did he do it? Was it like the Pied Piper?
See, I'm not convinced that He did go around killing snakes, but there are no snakes in
Really?
Ireland, and that's yeah. I don't know the ins and outs. If someone knows the ins and outs, we had a few probability experts and statisticians and maths graduates confirming that indeed I was correct, that the probability of 1 to 6 in a row is no more or less likely than any other single combination in a totally random selection of balls. Which brings us back to Hitler, doesn't it? Because he only had one, didn't he?
Well,
But coming up, we'll be asking Karl all about Hitler, the education of Karl. He's done Rasputin, he's done Che Guevara.
Plus, of course, White Van Carl, where we
White
asked
Van
Carl
Carl.
some of the, his opinions on some of the hot potatoes of the week.
You learned as you go along because you've got something about St Patrick there.
Yeah.
That was thrown in for free. That was an extra.
I'll learn you something here. Snakes.
Well, sorry, can I just stop you there and I'll teach you something, right?
Oh, go on then.
You don't learn someone something. You teach them something.
Yeah.
It's not one's passive. You
Do you wanna know
learn.
Ricky, I'm sorry, mate, but I don't think you should be teaching people how to speak or use grammar. I just don't think it's appropriate. It's like, it's embarrassing, frankly. Because there's so many errors that you're making. It's like, where to start with you?
Oh.
Snakes, right? You're talking about snakes.
Yeah.
A lot of snakes are born with 2 heads. It's like a familiar type thing that happens to snakes. when
Okay.
they're
Yeah. They take it for granted, don't they?
born. Right. Snakes born 2 heads. They'll fight each other for food, even though it's going in the same body.
Isn't that weird?
Were there kids at school that you went to who had 2 heads?
The
and did that?
snake twins
Yeah.
from Moseley. Oh,
There was kids at your school with 2 heads, was that right? What?
no, they had big heads.
Oh, they had big heads.
And webbed hands, but they
Right.
weren't related. And they weren't friends, because that would have been too obvious,
Yeah.
he said.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve, listen, before you came in, right, I sneezed a couple of times, so if I'm allergic to them, I've still got a bit of a cold. And I said, oh God, he went, bloody hell, I was like, sorry. And he went, you know you can't sneeze with your eyes open. I went, yeah. And then he was obviously thinking to himself still, and after a pause he went, would your eyes really fly out? And I started laughing. He went, no, because has anyone ever done that, do you think? Has anyone ever held someone down, torturing them, and held their eyelids open and gave them pepper and see if their eyes would fly out? And he said, and then he went, I'm just looking at him again, the silence, then he went, of his own accord, he just went, I can't see it happening.
Your song here, Ricky.
Oh, Bowie. Sorrow. Beautiful. Sorrow by David Bowie. I got that on a compilation today, but I think it's originally off the Pin-Ups album, the one we did all the covers, because he didn't write that, did he? That was the one with him and Twiggy on the front cover, isn't it?
Right.
I haven't had that for ages. I haven't got that. So
Sorry, you lost me. I don't know what you're talking about.
are you reading a book there?
No, I was just reading the brochure there, the programme, if you will, for the Television and Radio Industries Club Awards that we went to. Incidentally, we lost.
We lost to Linda Green.
Yeah, we didn't win an award.
For the best comedy.
But you might be interested to know that Tom O'Connor is in constant demand for corporate functions both here and abroad, and his client list includes many multinational companies. No mean golfer, Tom took the literary world by surprise in 1992 when his first humorous golf book, From the Wood to the Tees, made the bestseller list. I noticed it didn't take the literary world by storm.
No.
It took it by surprise.
They're going, we can't say storm. We've got to say by surprise, from behind.
But his first humorous golf book, From the Wood to the Tees, made the bestseller list. I don't know if that's just books about golf, that bestseller list. Subsequent successful books include One Flew Over the Clubhouse,
Brilliant. Genius.
Take a Funny Turn, Follow Me, I'm Right Behind You, and Eat Like a Horse, Drink Like a Fish.
Does it mention Celebrity Squares? Didn't he do that?
No.
He did
Crosswits.
name that tune.
Once, right, it's,
Crosswits. Do you remember Crosswits?
It was from the 80s.
It was like a crossword game show.
It was often with Kate Copstick, but I saw one, right. It was on Challenge TV being repeated. And no, Andy Crane. Remember Andy Crane?
Yeah.
He was the link man, and he went, coming up next, Tom O'Connor with Crosswits with well, in my opinion, one of the best Crosswits players of all time, John Junkin.
Oh. Who's your favourite Crosswits player?
It's got to be Junkin for me as well. But Copstick was
Barry
alright.
Cryer's bloody good.
Cryer was good. I watched Call My Bluff in the week.
Is this with Toxic and
yeah,
Colin?
it was quite good. I quite
I
enjoyed
imagine
it.
you could get on there if you
I
wanted.
used to watch it with what's his name? Famer.
Yeah.
Famer. Yeah. Oh, that's great.
You're brilliant impressions, because obviously while Bowie was playing, you were doing your infamous Bowie impression, which is the best one you do, actually.
Well, that's just because Karl said, you know what, he said, I'd love to go out for a drink with David Bowie. Of all the people that come in here for sessions, I think he's really good at him. And I said, I think he'd like you as well. That's all, and I just went, hello, Karl. You're strange, you're alien. It interests me. Myself and Ian, I'd like to put you on them. Yeah, I just imagine you and Bowie in a pub somewhere.
Isn't that pretty much the same impression you do when you do Ian Canfield?
No. Ian Canfield's more like that. But not on air. On air, he's sort of like this sort of eloquent 40-year-old capital DJ.
Yeah.
And,
but when you talk to him in the studio,
he's slowly turning. He's slowly turning into Tommy Vance, isn't he? Mm. This is one of his pillars of rock. Canfield. He loves Vance, Lemmy, Diano.
If we run out of material later in the show, which is likely,
yeah,
considering we're now talking about
we ran out of it at 1:05.
Exactly. But could I maybe just sort of interview you as David Bowie?
Yeah,
in a sort of humorous sketch.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Maybe it could be the idea that what if like David Bowie was a cab driver? What would he say? What was some of the funny things he would say?
We saw that, what was that in when it said, Dead Ringers coming up? If you've ever wondered what, it would sound like...
Dead Ringers is this impressionist show. They did it's on Radio 4 and they did a TV version.
Yeah, I saw it.
What did you make of it?
Didn't like it.
It was alright, no, it was just that the write-up in, one magazine, the Radio Times, said, ever wondered what it'd be like if, Robbie Williams was singing George Formby? Or, what would it be like if, there was an animal hospital...
was hosted by, Anne Robinson.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have wondered. Were those two sketches on there last night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were they like?
You are the weakest...
You are the weakest dog
skink.
Or something?
No, what was it? It was something like... They had to vote off an animal to die or something. It was something like that, yeah. It was
This is flagging. Quick, do your Bowie again.
Oh, come in here. Look, it's Tin Machine. Now let's play Changes. Hello, Iggy Pop, you nutter. Stop cutting yourself. Travis, Flowers in the Window on XFM 104.9. 2 o'clock, halfway through. Oh, it's our favourite time, isn't it? My favourite time of the week where we come in here and play some records, have a chat.
Ricky, a lot of people are wondering who you are.
I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hi.
There's little Karl over there. Steve, it's time for...
White Van Karl. We should definitely get some jingles. I think the show sort of lacks jingles, I think.
Yeah.
Noises.
Yeah.
Funny sound effects.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. What's Mr. Nosy Neighbour interested in? Hello, what's going on here? Oh, we should definitely get some pre-recorded comedy noises, Karl.
Yeah.
For next
Yeah, well,
week.
that's my job, but unfortunately I'm busy reading about Hitler.
For those that don't know and aren't familiar with this feature, basically The Sun runs a White Van Man column where it asks just people who, every men and women, their views on news stories from the week, and we decided we'd just ask Karl his opinion on some of the same issues. This week...
Not like us to rip off another idea and just use it for our own...
No.
No, but this time...
The White Van Man in the Sun this week is Herbie Crossman from Harrow in Middlesex.
Herbie.
And he's asked his opinion, Karl, and what's yours, on pop idol Will Young admitting he is gay. Come on, Karl.
I don't understand what the big deal is, to be honest.
Okay. No.
Talking to different people about it, and they've said, it could affect the sales, girls won't like him anymore, which I think is rubbish.
Yeah, because it finished George Michael's career, didn't it?
Well, yeah, and I was thinking when I was growing up, right?
And Freddie Mercury.
I was into Kim Wilde, right?
Sure.
Now...
And her kids.
You're not going to tell me she's gay, are you?
No, but if they said, she's a leser.
Yeah.
Right? I wouldn't say, right, that's it, I'm taking kids in America back to the shop, I'm disgusted.
Sure.
I liked her.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever going to, meet her and marry her and that, so what does it matter?
Yeah.
Will Young, he's a good voice, he's gay, a lot of gay people in the world.
Georgie boy was gay, I guess.
There you go.
Nothing more and nothing less. The kindest guy I ever knew.
So
Do your Bowie.
No big deal.
That's one of your favourite songs, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Killing a Georgie Parts 1 and 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you make of the police protesting to Parliament over reforms?
That's not the band. Before you say.
Right, what's all that about?
Okay, well the police have had various kind of gripes and grumbles which they've taken to Parliament, try and get them sorted.
Like what?
Well, it could take ages, basically.
They don't like the pointy helmets anymore.
Yeah.
They want flat caps.
They feel that their powers are restricted. They get a lot of bad press. They're not being paid well. They're under-resourced.
They actually demonstrated, didn't they, outside?
I think they may have done,
Well, at least they're doing something about it instead of just sitting there moaning. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're going to the top, trying to sort it out.
Yeah.
I admire that.
Yeah.
What do you make of the police generally? Are they doing a good job?
They've woke me up a couple of times at about 4 a.m. when I was a kid.
Right, was that because they were looking for your brother in his tank?
Yeah! Did a Sherman tank just come through here?
Yeah.
No, my mates nicked cars and gave my name and all that.
Right. Were they friends of yours? Right.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you make of fears that dumped Britney Spears? She's been dumped by her boyfriend. There's worries that she may be cracking up, Karl. You concerned?
What are the signs?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I'm just reading from this section, but I would assume that she's obviously showed signs of depression, maybe.
She'll be alright. I remember, Zoe Harris, when she sort of got bored of me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Get over it, don't even think about her now.
What, and how long did it take you, to get over Zoe?
Zoe Harris!
How long did it take
To be honest, right, it was like one of my first girlfriends, and she was a pain. I remember I went out with her because she wouldn't stop hassling me, right?
Yeah.
I remember...
Good reason to fall in love with her.
Oh, go on
I
then.
never talked to her, and then the bit that really got me, I thought I half liked her, and then I remember, right, we were at a school party, sort of infant school.
Infant school?
Right.
Are you sure it wasn't junior school?
Well, it's on the cusp.
Yeah.
Right, when you're about to leave infants and go to the next one.
Yeah.
And she was crying because
You were saying, I don't think we should move in together.
She was crying.
She was crying.
Oh, was she?
Had you
She
stolen
must
her
have
milk?
She must have been nearly 6. Why didn't she grow up?
No, she was crying because somebody had stood on a dress and put a bit of an hole in it. And I said, oh, for God's sake.
I can't stand it. Oh,
So
God.
you,
I just think him.
so you gave her a slap.
I just think of him like 6, like with clogs and a flat cap, going slightly bald, going for Christ's sake, woman, come on. Oh,
Light my pipe.
That finished it because all her mates were saying, come on, Carl, she's upset. And I was like, oh, whatever. So I saw her again.
Hold on, though. Wait a minute. What do you mean all the mates were saying, look, come on, Carl? They were 6, weren't they?
Yeah, but they were saying, come on, she's crying. Help her out.
And,
Like,
and you
it's
did
just-
nothing?
I
She's got injured. Got a hole in her skirt.
Yeah, but she was upset and you were her boyfriend.
Well,
So what did you do? Tell me the story. Where
Well,
were
it
you?
didn't work out.
You were at some kind of school do. There was a hole in
That's
her
why
dress.
it didn't work out, he said.
Do you treat your current girlfriend in the same way? This callous disregard for someone's feelings?
His current girlfriend does not tread on her dress. Does she?
Huh.
Oh, she didn't.
So,
tell me,
as far
did
as
she?
you're concerned, what was her name? Sarah?
Zoe.
Zoe Harris. You just felt like, well, if she's going to make a whinge about, a silly little hole, screw her.
Yeah.
You're all heart, Carl.
What would you have done?
I'd have gone over there and give her a lovely kiss.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
We were playing Dead Arm. In the corner.
Ask him another question.
Okay, very final
One more.
thought then. What do you say to the fact that a judge has decided that we, the general public, have a right to know about stars' flings? Basically, this is an excuse. This is basically saying, should papers be allowed to print tittle-tattle about celebrities?
Oh, this is.
Providing it's proven true.
Oh, this is something about, isn't it, a Division 1 football or something? It's definitely out of Premiership football, it's unfair. And it is true, but he's trying to keep privacy. And the judge said, well, it's not for us to censor the press over things that are true.
Right.
It's up to the general public to either boycott or not, that publication.
What do you think, Carl? What about all this, exposing, going through the, the bins of celebrities?
It's not right, is it? But
No.
people are interested in it and buy the papers to read it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, like I said to you the other week, everyone has a go at Beckham for not being that bright. But at the end of the day, he's a good footballer. It doesn't really matter what goes on off the pitch, does it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But what if you were
I
a
don't
celebrity
really-
and they sort of splashed over the front page the fact that you just, didn't care
Left
less
my
for Zoe
girlfriend
Harris
because-
Yeah.
and her torn dress?
Zoe Harris is still upset.
Yeah, they dug her out, The night Karl Pilkington reduced me to tears.
Nah, I haven't done anything that bad.
Sure.
I wouldn't be worried.
Did you win the dead arm contest?
No. I was thinking about that the other day. Do you think there's a chance I could get blood clots in later life?
Did you play that a lot?
Yeah, a hell of a lot.
Did you ever do it, but like kind of headbutting?
No,
Okay, because that would have explained something.
dead arms.
Sure.
Any more?
No, that's it, Carl.
And
Thank you very
it
much
was
indeed.
with people's blessing, was it? You had to give them a go?
Yeah.
And you played it with girls?
No.
Alright.
Oh, my mates.
Right.
So you were playing Dead Arms while she was off dancing and getting her hole ruined?
Yeah.
You romantic, you.
That's great. And you haven't changed a bit, have you? You still do that to this day, don't you? At functions and events. Oh dear. Well, what track we got here? You've brought in a track.
Yes,
here,
I
Steve.
just thought I'd dig out some old Elliott Smith. I've quite enjoyed his work, and this was a previous single, and the first track from his album Figure 8, Son of Sam.
XFM 104.9.
Sorry, I was going to back
go on.
announce that track and just mention it was Elliott Smith and the track Son of Sam.
Well, I think I'd just better ask Karl a couple of quick questions about Hitler. Then we can get on with our lives.
Okay, and we can tick that particular box.
Yeah, put that. Yeah. Okay, Karl.
Put that particular dictator to bed.
It's week 3 of his education. You've nailed Rasputin and Che Guevara. I don't want to lose complete sight of those. I'll maybe ask you a couple of those in the week just to so you keep your mind on it. But Hitler.
Tell us the story.
What have you learned?
Do you want to ask some questions?
No, not really. Just sum it up in a minute. What do you
Can't
think?
do it in a minute.
Well, can I ask some questions then? Where was he born?
Austria.
Tell us about his early life.
Right, he was a young lad.
Brilliant.
What in his early life? Okay.
Yeah.
What's the name? His mum was his dad's second cousin, which is a bit weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
They had 5 kids.
He's going, yeah, it's usually first cousin where I come from. Oh, that's unfair, isn't it? There's no need for that.
There was 5 kids, but only 2 of them, including Hitler, including him and his sister survived. The others died at an early age.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, so they grew up, and the mum died and the dad died and that, and he thought, oh, what am I going to do? Because he didn't do well at school, didn't have many qualifications.
No.
Liked art.
Did he have a GCSE in history?
Liked art, right? And then, so he said, right, I'm going to go to Munich. I missed a bit out, actually. Jewish people were in Austria, he didn't really like them.
Okay.
He thought they got, special treatments and stuff, and just didn't like them. So he went to Munich, and he joined the army.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And he was in the army, and he got injured.
Right.
So he went to hospital, and whilst he was in hospital, the World War One ended, and he was like, "Oh God, I want to."
I was enjoying that.
Yeah, well, So don't, because you're breaking the concentration.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm not even sure I want to join in on this one, just in case.
Okay.
Right, go on.
Right. So
He was in hospital.
He was in
War
hospital. It gets a bit better. He's never that fit though. He's one of these blokes who was always ill. That was on something like 30 tablets a day or something. Comes out of there, joins some other army.
Right.
God, I knew it all this morning.
I can see it running to ground. I just see his face going, I'm not nailing the fact, am I? And joined another army, and he was
Listen, let's try and help you. So
Here's a good bit. I remember this bit. He thought that war to men, right, was like childbirth is to women. That's how important he thought it was.
All right.
Right? So it's like, you fight for 9 months, and at the end of it, you own something, right?
Yeah.
So, he goes on and all that. He's in Berlin.
Yeah.
And, he's fighting his way through, trying to take over countries and that. And he does he do Berlin? Does he?
sorry, wait a minute. Is he Chancellor yet?
What year is it? 35?
So
where are you?
let's skip the kind of climb to power then. He's now the dictator of Germany.
Right, he's in charge, yeah. And this is when, he gets his own back on the Jewish people and that, and he's got his own little armies, and he's setting fire to Jewish businesses and all this. And, anyway, cut a long story short,
Please do.
When he came to, fighting Britain,
Yeah.
came a bit sort of unstuck,
Yeah.
right? Started fighting
Not
back.
so easy, is it, this world domination, Adolf?
Britain was there, France was helping out,
Yeah.
Americans were helping out,
Yeah.
So he
well,
thought, oh God, so
bit late, but yeah, go on.
he goes into a bunker in Berlin,
Yeah.
and it's all kicking off,
Yeah.
and apparently, like, Germany sort of surrenders,
Yeah.
says it's all over, forget it, we can't beat you. He was really annoyed with this, and he thought, oh, I can't show my face around here. So he,
because it would be embarrassing.
he's with his missus, who nobody knew was his wife,
Right.
Eva, in this bunker.
Yeah.
And so he said, I've had enough of this. He shoots himself.
Yeah.
She poisons herself, and the chauffeur buries him or something, or burns him.
Right.
And in all the time he was in charge, 50 million people died.
So that's 1918 to 1945.
Yeah.
Between
It felt like that.
between Travis and the Red Hot Chili Peppers next week. That's fantastic.
That's remarkable. I have to say that you sort of lost your grasp somewhere along the line, because you started off confidently, but you lost your way.
I've had a really busy week, and last night I was like whizzing through it.
Sure.
And then this morning I woke up, and you know, Suzanne had been away for about 3 days, right?
Yeah.
I hardly spoke to her. She's been busy, I've been busy. First thing to say when I wake up, oh, just ask me some stuff on Hitler.
You are romantic. That's great.
That's how stressful it's getting. But I knew it all this morning, honestly.
No, but that's fine. I think you've summed up the, you've done that. Right, just for a bit of balance, I've got your next week's homework. It's the same series. There's little books. There's tiny little books, just 3 inches long by 2 inches wide.
Crammed with so much information there.
Winston Churchill. There you go. You'll enjoy that. Yeah?
I'm getting a bit bored now, though. This is what happened in school.
Think of the listeners.
Did really well in infants. Once got to secondary, lost interest.
Was it the breakup between you and Harris?
And Zoe. I wondered if, you've spiralled into something there.
Yeah, because it's like all these other, these men of history, they always had sort of things happen in their early childhood, didn't they? Maybe yours is the Zoe Harris dress incident.
Well, let's just refer to it as the Zoe incident.
Yeah.
From now on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Winston Churchill, the bit I left out in the Hitler story, Hitler was scared of this man.
Yeah.
And I can tell you something else about Winston Churchill.
Go
on. He said he can remembers being in the womb. And he was born in a public toilet.
Play a record. PJ Harvey, This Is Love, XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl. Karl called me in the week, Steve. I know we sort of banned each other from speaking to him.
What, you seem to have just disobeyed that rule
I can't believe it. I just can't resist it. But he said, just saw a programme. He said, what's that big balloon that blew up? And the newsreader was going all mental. And I went, is that the Hindenburg? He went, yeah. Oh, I said it was a big Zeppelin. He went, yeah. He went, what happened? I said, it was helium, wasn't it? And I went, yeah. I said it was just a huge Zeppelin full of helium. And what caused it? I don't know. It could be a spark or anything, but of course it just goes, because it's helium so flammable. And he went, now they didn't show this in the documentary, but did all their voices go funny? And I went, what? He went, well, no, if you take a little bit of a little balloon of helium, your voice go funny. So if that was like millions of gallons of it, and it blew up in the air, and it was in the atmosphere, you'd be talking like Donald Duck. He went. So imagine that.
God.
But what I liked about it, I said, this wasn't in the documentary.
No, it's an oversight. Maybe just time was against him. They didn't have time to explain.
Just like that, but that book about Hitler didn't have his one ball incident.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
It's annoyed me, that.
What? What?
The old Hitler book.
Why?
Just because I knew it all. Do you know what I mean? I was cycling in today. I was like, going through it all again.
Yeah.
Had it all in my head.
But that's why you should know something as opposed to just cram and have a piece of trivia that's precariously sort of teetering on the edge.
But what I don't understand,
you know what I mean?
It's well, you're not interested by it.
That's what I mean.
It's one of the most fascinating things.
You know all about things you're interested in. You never forget them, do you? You know.
Yeah, I was a bit interested in it, but like I say, I mean, I'm cramming all this into a normal week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go on and, you watch telly and that in the week, you've got loads of leisurely time. I'm sort of using the only little bit of rest time I have to learn, as well as trying to do all my other stuff.
Yeah.
He texted me yesterday about Hitler. He went, stop making me read this heavy shit. He said, I've seen in the back of this book, there's one on Elvis.
No, I mean, it is interesting, but not when you have to read it, do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's
but do you think you'd have read it in your leisure time?
To be honest,
No, you wouldn't.
No,
Would you?
I wouldn't. No.
No, it's
What
not
do you do in your leisure time?
I like, going out for food and that.
Right.
Foraging. What do you mean going out for food?
going
They
out.
can have a little hole and go
Go hunting.
Yeah. This is Karl. He's hungry. He knows he has to get to the greasy spoon by 11. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Many of Karl's close friends have never made it across this road.
There was a zebra crossing installed just for the safety of Karl. Beep, 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 beep. Can I have a bacon butty and... Karl is enjoying his... Wow, but he has to get back.
His girlfriend's asked for one as well. She's home with a PlayStation 2.
Wow.
Oh.
Alright, Rick. It was David Bowie impressions earlier. Now it's just a selection of crazy sound effects, like that guy in Police Academy.
You said you wanted some. He hasn't got time to make them up. He's reading about Hitler. You heard him.
Do a machine gun or a helicopter.
We've got to do all our own sound effects. Oh. So do you want a week off? Do you not want to learn about Winston Churchill? Why don't you read it if you want to, and just if you get interested, then read on. I think
Because that's what I did with school and it didn't work.
No, you decided you didn't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
But hasn't that taught you something?
Can't we just do it like a TV series? It doesn't go on forever. We've done 3 weeks. Give it a rest now for the summer.
Yeah, because most series last for 3 weeks.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. What's your favourite subject in the world? What's your favourite thing in the world?
I would have said what at school like.
No, just in life. What are you interested in?
I like little interesting bits like
sentences.
Atlantic Ocean. It's got 17 quadrillion gallons of water in it.
Right.
Well, that's interesting without having to read a book.
Why is that interesting though? What are you basing it on? When you think of 17 quadrillion,
it's a lot, isn't it?
What are you imagining?
Just like a big wave. Imagine how much water.
Yeah.
Well, what's your subject then?
I don't know. No, it's just that Wilson, what's your favourite subject? You gave me a fact that is so...
No, but that sort of thing, like I said to you before, you were talking about monkeys, and I said, do you know that if you give a monkey a childbirth tablet, it works on it the same way, because it's kitted out the same.
Could I just say something? We weren't talking about monkeys.
What were we talking about then?
No, we were talking about something completely different, and you went, if you give a monkey a childbirth pill, it works. That's what you said.
No, we were talking about monkeys.
We weren't, we were talking about sneezing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you went, if you give a monkey childbirth pills, it works. That's...
Well, we were talking about interesting things about sneezing, and I remembered an interesting fact about monkeys. So...
Anyway, 2:30, brilliant. What did happen to that bloke who used to make the sound effects in Police Academy?
I don't know.
He was brilliant, wasn't he? Do you remember him?
I don't remember
Was
him.
he called Hightower?
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah?
If anyone knows, give us a call.
God.
Girls and boys.
You've embarrassed yourself then, Gervais.
What?
Well, we've had a number of calls and emails pointing out that the Hindenburg disaster was not because the Zeppelin was filled with helium,
Hydrogen.
but filled with hydrogen.
Right, okay. Well, I thought about that when he told me in the week.
Yeah, but
I assumed he must have got that off from the documentary. So it just went up. So that's probably why the voices didn't go.
That was probably why it didn't feature in the documentary.
Yeah.
But it seems to me we should have thought of that. I mean, like, it's school fates and stuff where they're like filling little balloons with helium.
Yeah.
You know, there'd be all kinds of horror stories if they were just, just blowing up, left, right and centre. I don't think you can just blow helium up like that, can you?
What?
Isn't that the point? What I'm saying is it can't be as potentially lethal as hydrogen, helium.
What, hydrogen isn't as bad as helium?
No, helium's not as bad as hydrogen.
I don't know what you're saying, because that Hindenburg was hydrogen.
Yeah, and I'm saying, why did we think it was helium? That's crazy. You go to school fates and stuff with, like, little kids, and they're filling up little balloons with helium. They wouldn't have big canisters of helium, a charity event, or, a small kind of bring and buy sale if it was deadly.
Yeah, but it's not as big. I mean, when you buy those balloons at a fair, it's not as big as that big
But presumably
balloon.
it's still flammable, is it?
But it wasn't the fact how dangerous the rare gas was, or it was the fact that it was made of this thing that caught fire and just went. There was nothing. A hole in it would have been as bad. It just burnt quickly and fell to the ground because the hydrogen or helium escaped. It was irrelevant that what the gas was, wasn't it?
I thought it was that there was supposed to be some kind of explosion.
Well, I don't know what it was, but the point is, because the outer thing was so thin, right, the gas inside escaped and it fell to the ground.
So it just fell to the ground like when you popped a balloon?
Well, not
It didn't
quite.
sort of go...
It didn't, like, flap all over the place and make a zany noise.
But I tell you what, 'cause when I was looking on the internet in the week for it, I was, like, trying to get a bit more info on it. Guess how many balloons it would take, helium balloons, to lift a human up?
Go on.
6,000.
Should we do it?
If you want.
Brilliant. Next week, that's got to be a challenge.
Is there a sort of balloon company or some sort of, party company that are willing to sponsor us to lift Karl
into the air
right,
with helium balloons?
10 feet off the ground, where we're tether him down, right? Is there someone willing to pay for 6,000 balloons to try and lift
We
Karl
can maybe
up?
get some kind of company to sponsor it. I'm thinking like Electrolux, if they're going to sponsor puddings.
If they're going to sponsor puddings, and celebrities, Russ Abbott, they will sponsor Karl being lifted. Heat magazine, come on. They're a big selling, very successful magazine there, and they know about Karl because they've mentioned him. Heat magazine, can we have a heat balloon? Yeah? Oh,
6,000's an awful lot,
into
Rick.
the air. It's the heat 6,000 Karl challenge. Lift Karl 10 feet into the air.
Yeah.
Come on.
What about if it was Karl and Dr. Fox? We could get 2 different balloons.
I think we need a lot more than 6,000.
a lot more for Fox, isn't it?
Mix, yeah. I just explain what I'm laughing at, right? We just had a call from someone saying his company would sponsor Karl, right, to be raised by all these balloons if he could have a walk-on part in the office. And we immediately went, we're worried about that sort of thing. You can't really promise that artistic, and I was worried about the legality of it as well. How can you promise someone that for personal gain that's a private, and all that sort of stuff, right? And I went, I don't know. And anyway, put the phone down to him, and Karl went, I love the fact you're more effing worried about that than me being raised 30 feet in the effing air. You started getting scared, did you? Are you worried about it?
Well,
You're quite excited about the idea of the challenge, though, aren't you?
I like the idea, but I want, like...
Why do you like the idea, Karl?
Oh, what if it went all wrong and we're there going, the humanity of it.
I think we need
Karl
to get...
he's just...
And the rope would pull out my trousers and punch him.
Oh, no, it's definitely got to be Dr. Fox if that's going to happen.
God. We've got to do this.
So hang on, but let's just think about because wait a minute, we say this, but we'd have to get all kinds of health and safety people involved.
No, we wouldn't.
Of course we can't just start raising you in the air.
No, you're allowed to do it on private land, aren't you?
Look what happened to the Hindenburg!
No, but I was just saying there was lots of people died. Listen, look, all we do is we get someone, right?
But what if he gets loose and he just floats off into the air?
And then we never, and he meets his magpie that he lost. He used to peck his grifter.
Balloons.
So
I'm so excited about this. Listen, we've got to do this.
No, but
Please.
shut up a minute. Let's just stop and think about it. It's
Right.
60,000 balloons.
Look, no, it's not. It's 6,000.
But 6,000 balloons, that's a lot of balloons.
No, it's not. No, it's
don't
not.
be silly.
For
6,000
sponsorship, people pay for... no, listen, it's worth it. There must be a company out there that'll pay for this, just so we can film
Hang
it.
on, is there not an easier way of just getting one big balloon? Then the challenge is there's no challenge then.
No, it's got to have people coming up and hooking balloons. It'd be like Buckaroo. And the person who puts the balloon that actually raises him 10 feet wins a prize or something.
So hang on, so what we've got each person with like 500 balloons.
Yeah.
That's mad. Can you imagine how many balloons that is? That's ludicrous.
6,000. Yeah.
That's an awful lot of balloons.
I don't know, there must be someone that could do this. Oh look, people have walked on the moon for Christ's sake. We can raise Karl Pilkington with some balloons.
Yes, but they had a NASA budget. We've got XFM behind us.
Yeah, but balloons,
Yeah.
balloons are cheap. You can get about a pack of 25 for about 150.
Right, fine.
No,
True.
Yeah, the helium though, Karl. You can't just like attach yourself to a pack of balloons.
No, but
What, you think we blow them all up?
with helium,
Right.
Oh.
off you go.
But then we can do something with the balloons, can't we? Like release them afterwards.
Oh, we'll release them back into the wild. Brilliant, as a sign of peace. Fly, my pretties, fly,
Listen,
be free.
I am so excited. I have not been so excited about, and when I thought that Robin Ince was going to stay in my cupboard for £1,000. Look, we've got to do this.
6,000 balloons. I don't think it's going to happen. That's an awful lot of balloons, and I just I don't see how we can tether them all to Carl. He's a small man.
No, but
Because you have them at different lengths, don't you?
yeah, exactly. Carl knows.
Can you think about the logistics of this?
Oh, someone must know. There must be a company. There's a bloke willing to do it. I know he doesn't know the technology of it. He's willing to sort of stand back.
And
The company just
Come on,
has access to helium like that.
So we can do this. Come on,
And
London,
someone's done
Londoners.
It was on the internet already, so someone obviously has done it.
Yeah.
So they didn't say, "Oh, we can't get hold of the balloon."
No, they probably worked it out, didn't they?
Carl, you're more excited about this than anything else. About your education, about your exam results.
it's
You're so
exciting.
excited.
And we'll have a little rope. It'll be like flying a little kite, a little Carl. Let's go.
Carl, what will you wear? Like a one-piece jumpsuit
Yeah, it'd be lovely.
with sponsorship all over it?
Oh, it'd be
Yeah.
great. You look like Jackie Stewart, and just as you go up your little face, oh my God, I'm not going to sleep until this is done. This is the most exciting thing ever.
Only 10 feet.
10 feet, yeah. And
We
we'd
need some.
tether you.
We need some kind of rope to sort of tether you to the ground. We
Yeah.
don't want you sort of flying off.
This is going to be great. And he'd have a little crash helmet and everything, and little deedie boppers on the crash helmet, like
Yeah.
he's a little flying ant.
Definitely.
We give him a little, oh my God, can we give you an outfit like little wings and everything?
Can we paint your face with like children's
No,
paint?
I'm not
Yeah.
doing all that.
Why?
Oh, because that would be silly.
Oh, please, Carl, do this. Do it. We'll do it for charity. We'll do it for charity, yeah?
Right.
Yeah? Oh, this is
We'll
gonna
do it
be
for children in
brilliant.
need.
Please, just phone in if you can help us. Lift Carl up 30 feet. Let's say 30
I think
feet.
it has to be a decent.
Yeah, it has to be a decent
Well,
height.
is there a world record? Because we want to break that if we're
Yeah,
going
I want to break that. What is the world record for raising a man by balloons?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
so listen, let's just finalise details here. We've got
I'm so excited.
email address ricky.gervais
Yeah.
at xfm.co.uk.
Yeah.
Ricky.gervais at xfm.co.uk.
What's the number? What's the number?
The number, Carl?
08 700 800 1234.
Give it
Lift
again, give
Carl.
it again.
Lift Carl.
08 700 800 1234.
Sponsored by Heat Magazine
And
or
you,
something.
maybe
like
even if you've just got an idea about how we might be able to organise it, how we might be able to get it done, if you've got contacts, anything, just get in touch, give us some information.
Oh, that'd be great. I'm gonna play a Beatles track for the lovers.
Oh, man.
It's off the Help album, and it's You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. Oh, just think of his little face as he goes. Oh.
Could be televised.
Well, XFM, it's nearly the end of the show. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant. We've enjoyed your company. Carl, we're going to try and get Carl in the air. Anyone that can help us, take him up with helium balloons. Our friend Johnny Mango called again, and apparently the record's 11,000 feet. Carl is getting a little bit nervous.
Yeah, the world record is 11,631 feet raised by hot air balloons.
Yeah.
How tall's Canary Wharf?
It's 11,631 feet. Exactly.
What's-
I don't know, Carl.
Is it how much higher?
It's a long way.
More.
I'm not doing
Lot.
Because I'm like 6 foot something.
Yeah, think of that. Just look at Steve.
Alright.
Yeah.
But you can change your record. You could say, well, the sort of balloons are the one with Mickey Mouse on it or something.
Yeah, could I just
Change it
could I just
slightly.
say something? That man did 11,000 feet, but he wasn't naked. Alright?
Come on, Carl.
Your 30 feet will be the world record for naked ballooning. Yeah?
Mm.
Think about it.
Alright, it's for charity.
Well, thank you for listening, everyone. We are going to raise Carl. And after Carl said, and just to think, my teacher said I'd never be a high flyer. So this is your chance, Carl, to shine, to fly.
Steve.
It'll be brilliant. This is a final song for the ladies. Belle and Sebastian, we've not heard them for a while. This is from, it's actually a B-side or a triple side or whatever you call it. Track 3 on a single called Jonathan David. This is the beautiful The Loneliness of the Middle Distance Runner. Play it.
Goodbye. Our Freaks Electric, Richard Atkins, Sugar Babes on XFM 104.9, Steve.
Absolutely.
I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello.
Carl, the producer. 7 minutes past 1 of a Saturday, and what a lovely Saturday it is.
It is indeed.
Well, it looks nice and bright, but it's deceptive, because I went out, and I just had a t-shirt on, and I had my jumper on me. I got out there, and I thought, this is chilly. I had to pop the jumper on.
Oh no.
So,
Goodness
you
me.
know, just if you're just, looking out the window thinking, I'll go outside, pop a jumper on or a jacket, because it looks nice, but it is a little bit colder than it looks.
Rick, can I ask, were you wearing the jumper around your waist, tied with a knot, or did you have it over your shoulders, like maybe you just jumped off a yacht?
I popped it round my waist, and I'll tell you what,
Okay.
I tucked my t-shirt in for neatness and comfort.
Lovely.
But even I know that's a little bit dorkish, so I was
Sure.
trying to hide the belt line.
Okay.
So, then I popped the jumper on, didn't have to worry about it.
Did
so
you
now
go
it's-
with the
Go on.
double knot?
I didn't,
Because that can loosen if you're not careful, especially if you're carrying bags or you're busy on the tube.
I know, but I wouldn't mind that as long as I didn't lose it. As long as I saw it loosen and fall, I'd pick it up and
You'd be
then
pretty devastated if you
and
fell
then
off and
clean
did
it. Not in the washing machine though. I'd pop it in a cold wash soak, right?
Okay.
And then leave it out on a few towels or something, or pop it over the radiator.
So what's the problem with putting it in a hot wash?
Well, it can cause shrinkage.
Oh no.
So, coming up, we've got loads of tunes. We're going to be playing some of the best bands around, some new ones, some old ones. Might even play some, Adam Ant. We don't know yet.
Let's have Badly Drawn Boy though, shall we, Carl? Current single.
Badly Drawn Boy there. Silent Sigh. Is that the one with the duck? That video?
Yes. Very good video.
Apparently he stopped wearing his hat around because he keeps getting recognised. And he's going to not wear his hat when he doesn't want to get recognised.
Okay.
Maybe pop it in the wash.
But be careful, let's just have a kind of a light cold rinse.
Yeah, light cold rinse, soak it, right, because it's woolen, right, and then just leave it out on a towel, or, maybe near the immersion heater.
Sure.
Or over a radiator,
What
or even
on
the
a
sun.
radiator, is that a problem?
It can cause that sort of, damaging to the fibres of the wool.
He had a kid last week.
Did he?
Yeah.
Who did?
Badly Drawn Boy.
Oh, right, okay.
Badly Drawn Little Boy, he's going to call it, isn't he?
Brilliant, Rick.
Yeah.
Well done.
It's a sort of satire.
I'd like to see that as a headline in a
And
tabloid.
deliver, oi, oi, money, your life. Oh. Now, going on.
Oh,
Carl,
can we
don't
explain why
panic.
that's funny?
Don't panic, Carl, I'm a professional. Don't worry.
What's your concern, Carl?
What's your concern?
Nothing.
Tell us.
No.
You can say.
I can't.
You can!
This is so unprofessional.
It's, what? What have we done?
What, talking about wool?
Right.
Come on, Carl, what's the problem?
What's the problem?
You say.
He's great, and
He's so
lovely.
scared. Come on, Carl, tell us.
I don't know all the ins and outs, so I don't want to get into it.
What?
The thing.
No,
Well,
you
look,
can,
you can't, look, people are perplexed now. What's the thing, Carl?
what's the thing? What are you worried about? Say.
Is it an email that's been received by the head of XFM?
You've got the email open.
You can talk about. You can say what it.
Okay, let me just
without,
see. I don't understand it. Please note that under a ruling at the Old Bailey, any reference to Adam Ant's state of mental illness in any news report will constitute a breach of the ruling and therefore lead to serious action from his lawyers.
That's right, and that's true. That's subject we can't talk about that. You can play his records and
Sing his classic songs.
Sing songs.
Yeah, it's best just to leave it, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what Carl was a little bit worried. There's no way I was going to mention that or influence anything, and I totally agree with the law, so don't panic, Carl.
That should have never been sent to you.
Why?
Because it's like, accidents happen.
Go on then.
When things like that happen, right, you've been told not to mention it,
Yeah.
and you're like a little kid.
Yeah.
And once things are in your head,
Yeah.
it's difficult not to mention it. I mean, when I was a kid,
Yeah.
Go on.
right,
Yeah.
my mum's sister Hazel
Right.
was seeing another bloke. It's weird because she's a lesbian now. That's really weird.
That must have been an interesting Christmas.
But anyway, she was seeing this bloke, and he looked like Ken Dodd, apparently.
He looked like Ken Dodd.
Looked like Ken Dodd. So people said, don't mention it because it gets on his nerves when you like meet him and you go, oh god, you look like Ken Dodd. So I said, all right, his name is Will or whatever. And I was introduced to him. First thing I said, nice to meet you, Ken.
Did you do it as a joke, or did you?
No, because
Just
when you know that he's like, I'm not allowed to say that. I can't
Yeah.
say that. I mustn't say that. Can't. And then
Yeah.
I saw him. I thought, Jesus, does look like him. It just came out.
Was it Doddy who turned her into a lesbo, do you think?
Well, he wasn't a good-looking bloke, so
No.
possibly.
She started going out with Esther Ransom though, which is weird, out of the frying pan.
What was the
into
story with the
fire.
lesbianism then? How did she announce that to everyone? What age was she when she realised?
Well, I mean, we're not a close family. Do you know what I mean? We're not
No.
a sort of family who keeps in touch with everyone. And I think my mum called her up one Christmas and sort of said, how's
the Diddy
Will?
men?
How's Will?
Yeah, that's
And,
nutty ash.
And she said, oh no, I'm not. I don't do that anymore. I'm knocking about with Sandra or whatever.
Right.
And it was like, oh right.
Not big butch Sandra with the big earrings and the skinhead. Used to live down the road from you.
I don't know.
Used
I
to
haven't met
get Doc Martens wholesale. That's Sandra.
her. But she had a haunted house.
Go on.
Who, Sandra?
No, Hazel.
Right. Is this before she was a lesbian or not?
Before.
Okay.
And there was a bike in the hall, and the pedals used to go backwards.
There was a
on
what
their
in the
own.
hall?
A bike.
That's handy, isn't it? Oh, that's great. Don't worry, we won't do anything.
So, sorry, no, I want to know about the haunted house. There was a bike in the hall, and what
There was a
happened?
bike in the hall, and the pedals used to go backwards on their own. And also, shoes used to stick to the wall or something.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoes used to stick to the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like a
That's all it
hell
does.
of a household. Yeah.
Well,
Oh
there you
dear.
Brilliant.
Maybe she should clean the walls.
Classic.
The Lars, and there she goes. What a great start to a show. We've had 20 minutes of some of the best banter, chatter, and music and anecdote anywhere on the dial.
You're damn right. High five.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
sweet, man, sweet.
Oh, what are we talking about now?
Um,
Well, I love that track. It's lovely. They've got a bit of the Liverpool gene pool, haven't they? That sort of doddy. You know what I mean? I like the Scouse sort of look. You know, the Cilla Black and the Stan Boardman.
Yeah, it's
sort of-
particularly
sort of-
unique
it's-
to Liverpool.
It's
isn't
sort of happy in teeth and ears. And,
it?
do
It's
you know what I
happy
mean?
in teeth and ears.
Yeah,
Oh, brilliant description.
yeah,
Happy in teeth and ears.
yeah. That's just 3 of my friends. Now, we've got a great track lined up, haven't we, Carl, that I've brought in? So I'm going to go off. Now, I'm not ashamed. As you know, me and Steve aren't worried about being part of a trend or you know, being trendy or jumping on about it. Steve particularly doesn't worry about, like, looking good or,
Well,
you know. No, I'm saying,
no,
as a compliment, he doesn't worry about walking along like that or, you know.
Well, this
acting
is,
like
I'm looking good.
no.
Good
But I'm
looking
saying
guy.
you don't mind the insults freak boy or goggle eye or.
It's water off a duck's back, mate.
Do you know what I mean? Or a new phrase that's been coined because of Steve's face, water off a frog's back.
Who's saying that?
Just a lot of your,
What?
a lot of friends and that. But I
What,
mean,
my friends.
yeah, a lot of the people.
Can you name names or?
I can't really.
Make promises. You can't.
I can't
Don't wanna
really.
grass anyone up.
I think it's the Kagul.
Looks good.
It does look
It's
good.
waterproof, Rick, and it's also stylish. I wear nothing underneath, so it's tight to the skin. It gets sticky
Oh,
in
is
bad weather.
that,
Yeah.
is that why you sort of
It's
rustle?
sexy. But what's all the? Is there abuse? What's the
No, they just say.
Because I'm a pretty trendy guy, but I, as you say, I cut my own trend. You know, I make my own style. You know, that consequently the pipe. You don't feel that's an affectation?
I don't think. I think because you're young and tall.
Yeah.
The pipe looks a little bit silly.
Go on.
I mean, I know you're worried about because we've already lost the trilby.
Well, I'm worried because pipes are going to die out. I mean, this is the problem. That there's no young people now who are taking up the pipe as a smoking device.
Is
There's
there
no young
anyone?
people.
Is there anyone under the age of what should we say?
Oh, we've said this
25?
before, and I don't think there was no one. I think there was some nutty old woman who phoned in and said, I smoke a pipe. But I'm
Yeah.
talking about, you know, because years ago it was like an Oxbridge student, you know, you'd be at Cambridge or something, you'd have a lovely pipe, you know, tweed suit, you'd be there studying. That was, you know, and that was the young gen always smoked a pipe, but no one is now. I'll tell you this, in the year 2050, there'll be no pipes. They won't exist.
Well, I think all drugs like nicotine and alcohol will be banned, and we won't be allowed to think our own thoughts. We'll have to live in the sewers like eating rat burgers
That's
or
true
something,
enough.
won't we?
Yeah.
And it will have to download our memories or something.
Oh,
probably.
God.
And
But I'll be a rebel, Rick. I'll just
No.
be down there listening to jazz.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
You'll just have a little chip in the back, and you'll be going out with a big fat man with a big toga on, and you'll be touching him.
But will I think it's a beautiful woman?
Yeah,
Brilliant.
you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll be fighting with the rebel underground.
No, you
And
won't.
I will.
No.
I will. I'll
You-
be dead, won't I?
You'll be dead, yeah.
I'll be dead. Yeah.
In 2050 you will.
I'll be dead.
Unless because obviously you're becoming quite wealthy now. You're becoming a very rich man, obviously, from all your, you know, celebrity endorsements.
I'll have my brain put into a robot
Exactly.
made of titanium, and
Yeah.
I'll have it. Oh,
Would
and
you
it-
be cryogenically frozen if you could do it?
I would, but I'd leave myself out on a towel.
Right.
Never, because if you do it too quickly, there is shrinkage.
You've got to
And
be careful. Did you read in the paper this week? This is true. Apparently, the world's oldest man, who's 113, lives in some little part of Japan,
Sure.
like little island in Japan. But apparently, the world's oldest woman also lives in exactly the same place. Now, I don't know if she's since died, but she lived in the same place as well. Do you not think there's something suspicious going on there? I mean, isn't that a bit eerie to you?
I'm thinking, have you ever seen them together? And have you ever found lipstick in his bag? I think that'll be one and the same.
I wonder if it's something like, you know, what brought Godzilla back. There's some kind of, some antics
no.
over there.
No, there might be, they're sort of like, yeah. Although, just hearing like, some of Carl's stories about school, there's something going on there where he lives.
Yeah.
Did you say you did live near a sort of nuclear plant or
I
something?
found out it wasn't a nuclear plant, it was a chemical plant.
My God.
Yeah.
Really? And is that really true?
What colour was the
Yeah.
tap water in your area?
It was better than it is in London.
Right.
I was
Really?
talking to someone about this the other day.
Yeah.
Water in London's ropey. And I use one of them water filters.
Do you really?
And the guy down in the office was saying it's a waste of time though, because they only work for a couple of water, like you fill your jug twice, and then the water's going through the same muck, isn't it?
That's true enough.
But
So,
it's not. If
doesn't
it's not
work.
getting through, it's not getting through.
No, but
If it's a filter, it doesn't matter, does it?
still not good though.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Good point.
So have you just thrown it away based on what that bloke said?
Did he
Is
sell,
it currently
did he
in the
sell
bin?
you another one that he had on him? Did
a
he
better updated model.
Yeah. Did he have a suit and a
When
big...
you say, like, he works here, was he actually hanging around outside?
Yeah. Did he have a suitcase
with a
lots
cart?
of these in? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dear.
So just go back to insults briefly.
Go on,
You know,
Goofy.
it's saying...
Oh, no, see, that's...
Goofy, that's
no,
not
no,
fair.
no, because that's what he said, it's in my head.
What do you mean he said that?
No,
When did he say that?
No, I mean...
When did you call me Goofy?
No, he didn't. He said about what's in
Baldy?
my head.
Hey,
no, when it's...
come
Mate,
on.
come off it. Don't
What? Who's
start
calling
on
me Goofy?
No.
I'm not even Goofy. Goggle-eyed's fair enough.
Yeah, but you can sort your
Lanky.
look out. I can't.
What do you mean I can... How can I sort my look out? I'm not even Goofy. That's
got-
not fair.
You've got the proper features.
What?
Just needs sorting out a bit. I can't help it if my hair's not good.
I noticed the other day when Carl was sitting on your knee having his picture taken. It's a long story, right? He's got a completely spherical head. It's slightly too small. I'm not being funny because I mean, you know, I'm not perfect. But he's got a completely spherical little head. He looks a little bit like a baby hamburger. You know Hamburger off... It's just going really well. My name's Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve.
Hello there.
Carl. Alright. Coming up soon. White Van Man. White Van Carl. We ask Carl the questions that the Sun asked someone else.
Exactly.
This is a good feature.
It's a great feature.
I'll be testing Carl on the new re-education of Carl, as you know. He got a GCSE.
It's the last one, isn't it?
In history. It was the last heavy sort of one, yeah.
No.
So Winston Churchill. Well, yeah, because we're going on to more sort of metaphorical and metaphysical pursuits, aren't we?
Not that book.
Yeah, that's the Aesop
I can't read
Fables.
that in a week.
You don't have to read
Oh,
it.
right,
Just
that's
choose
fine,
out. Just choose the ones about the foxes eating penguins. You'll like that. Steve, over to you.
Thanks very much. I wonder if... I don't think we've made much progress yet on sending Carl into sort of into the air with the
No, this
balloons.
has gone a bit ballistic.
I've gone off
Actually.
the idea.
Oh no, shut
No,
up.
don't. You haven't gone
But
off yet.
we've inflamed the imagination of the capital. There's people offering left, right, and centre, and I think it's a good idea. But I think we should you know, make a day of it. I think we should send you up in some balloons, right? Maybe you know.
Well, hang on,
I'll
before we
compare
carry
a
on,
show.
let's explain what happened, because people might not have listened last week.
I don't believe that.
There are one or two, Rick.
I don't believe that.
People who were
Name
ill,
them.
or maybe out of the country.
Okay.
Yeah, so last week we discovered, was it that 623, is it 6,000?
No, I read that 6,000 balloons filled with helium can lift a bloke off the floor.
I think that's too many. I think we could do it for less, certainly.
Well,
with
anyway,
you.
listen, there are various organisations which actually exist already that can provide this kind of entertainment, this kind of fun. I mean, I didn't realise there was a whole kind of market for this already, but apparently there
Nor
is.
did I, no.
Incredible. Anyway, so we're going to try and track one of them down. We're going to see if they can organise it so that you, Carl, can float into the air. We need to get you, is it at least 11 feet up?
Yeah, if it's
And
just
I think certainly higher. I mean, I can't remember what the record is, but it's quite a long way.
11,000.
11,000 feet.
Yeah, but I think they're all official. I want to do it with like those little balloons you get for £1 at the zoo. Or
I don't
something.
think that can be right, health and safety wise. I don't think that can be healthy.
I think if we get him to sign something, which I will,
Okay.
I think we'll cover
It'll be fine.
ourselves.
But yeah, certainly we're thinking of maybe making it a bit like, is it Tea in the Park? The,
Yeah.
Capital FM,
Yeah,
event,
the
you know.
big
We
event.
could get sort of Steps, at least H from Steps can come down and
Yeah.
host the event.
I mean, I don't mind comparing it. Steve's gonna do. Steve's learning to sort of like scratch and mix and beat match, and I mean, you're getting pretty.
I'm making a lot of progress, yeah. I'm
You
going on.
you are going to be a turntablist.
Yeah.
Steve never learnt an instrument, which he regrets. You know, and you know, he's a modern lad, and he's using turntables as his instrument.
I just got 2 turntables and a microphone, and so far, I mean, seriously, I'm cutting it up big style. No, don't laugh, because it is mental, the sort of kind of stuff I'm coming out with. And I'm scratching, I got the beats, you know, matching.
Can you imagine that?
Shut up! It's that.
No, if-
look at the Chemical Brothers, for goodness sake. If you're talking about freaks, look at those weirdos. Man alive!
At least you cut your hair at Gavin.
You know that
whatever it's called.
because they used to kind of at least faintly appear in their videos. So this
Yeah.
one is just some shots of like what you see from outside a train.
I
That
know.
is, to them, that is more glamorous and exciting, apparently, than
Yeah.
seeing the lads themselves in the video.
Who do you think's cooler to look at, Steve or the Chemical Brothers?
Steve.
Definitely, yes, you're absolutely right, Carl, and that's the first sensible thing you've said for a
If
long
I was
time.
to work with Steve on some music,
Yeah.
if I had the choice, I think Steve would look better on a album cover.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you do? Would you change him at all? What would you do with his image?
I'd put him in the distance, so
I can't believe this is.
No,
is
just so
happening.
you don't look as tall, that's doing you a favour.
You know, I was on the. This is true. I was on the tube, right, coming in to meet Gervais the other day, and I was wearing a suit, and my mobile phone slipped out of my pocket, and it landed on the seat, and I didn't realise this. And as I was about to get off, some bloke who was sat there like an old guy, he picked up the phone. He went, "Oi, Lanky, you dropped your mobile phone." And I was like, "Well, I thank you for pointing out I dropped my phone, but did you have to do the Lanky?"
But you knew who he meant. I bet you turned round straight away. It worked.
Knew he meant
Yeah,
Steve.
but-
He's done you again.
But I was the only person stood up. It was a fairly empty train.
Was there any other lanky people there?
No.
Well then.
No, but my point was there was no one else at all who was about to exit the train.
Okay, so he didn't need lanky.
He could have gone, "Excuse me, sir," or "Oi, you," anything, but "Oi, Lanky."
I know.
It's that thing, though, isn't it? That's what I'm talking about. You say the thing that you don't want to say. It's like me with Ken Dodd and Will.
I think he wanted to say this.
Oh, well.
I think he took pleasure in it.
I think he went, "That bloke's lanky. I shouldn't say that." Yeah, I should. Oi, lanky.
What's
You
he
dropped
gonna
your phone. Yeah. Do you want your phone back or not?
But this balloon thing, anyway, it's got a bit out of hand.
Why
No.
has it got out of hand? What are you
No,
worried
it's
about?
funny. I just want to. I want to sort of like tie them all to the back of your belt. So as you go up there, you sort of tip forward slightly, so you're going up slightly upside down.
We could paint some advertising on your bald head.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll do that, Lanky.
That'd be great.
Here he comes.
No, I mean, last week it was just a bit of fun about going, like, just lifting my feet off the ground.
No.
And that's a big difference to what it's got now.
No, okay, I'll tell you what, we'll do 100 feet in the air, and I'll hold on to the rope.
But we'll do it at Wembley Arena and we'll sell tickets. But it'll be for charity, Carl.
No,
It'll be
no,
for charity.
No, we'll have lots of underprivileged kids coming along to see
It's
it, you
just got out
know.
of hand. It's like, you know, I like karaoke, but I wouldn't want to go on Stars in the Rise.
Sure.
And it's got out of hand. That's how it's sort of, it's grown too big. I don't
Who
like
would you
it.
do if you were on Stars in the Right?
I'd do that,
Moby?
that Jack the Knife song. I love
Jack the Knife.
Old Mac Heath. That one, yeah?
Yeah.
It's Mac the Knife.
that. That's what I do.
But which
He'd do a hip-hop version.
but which of the many singers would you impersonate? You can't. It's not the song, is it? It's the singer.
You could do, Jimmy Somerville, I think. Quite well.
Yeah, Somerville you'd be good at.
Moby. Did Morph bring out a
I
single?
don't think Morph did.
Didn't he?
No, I'm not sure.
Sure, didn't he have a theme tune? Did Morph? Phone in if you think Morph.
Morph didn't speak, Rick. Let
Didn't
alone
he?
sing.
Morph hardly had any features.
True.
Right.
They are.
Express 2 featuring David Byrne, Lazy, XFM 104.9, 1:45. I'm Ricky Gervais. Steve's got the sun.
Yes, I'm
He's
just
we're just going to be doing
column.
White Van Carl, where we ask Carl the questions the Sun asked some other bloke.
That's right.
Because we think Carl's got more to say than anyone on anything. Carl only tells the truth, by the way. Just remember that, listeners. Off you go.
Yes, well, today's White Van Man in the Sun is John Slade. He owns his own door maintenance company. His answers are very informative, I have to say. But Carl, what do you make of the Channel 4 producer, aged 30, who duped a school into believing he was a teenager for a documentary? Are you familiar with this story?
No, go on.
Well, basically a 30-year-old guy kind of fooled the school into thinking he was a pupil for a secret documentary. The school's outraged. Do you think that that's, for you, should anything go when it comes to making TV?
I think I've said to you before, there's loads of kids at my school. I remember being in the first year, and kids who, what year do schools go up to? I was in the first year. What is it?
11.
5?
Oh, sorry, first year of infants and juniors.
No, secondary school.
11.
Right. Year 11. Kids
No.
have beards and
No,
stuff.
not year 11. They're 11 when they first go to secondary school.
Right. Well, I'm 11. The kids at the older
Well,
end.
there's a
Well, it
fifth
depends.
form, and then
You
there's
can
a
leave
sixth
when
form,
you
isn't
can
it?
leave when you're 16, I think, can't you now?
Right. Well, kids who were 16
Yeah.
looked old. They did have beards. I remember going there and thinking some of them were teachers.
I think he's answered that. Next one. What's the next one?
Tattoos and everything. I think they're
Uh,
kids in the earlier years even.
what do you make of the fact that Mariah Carey's £38 million payoff has cost EMI staff their jobs, and we're talking 1,800 EMI staff who have lost their jobs?
What do you think of that?
Yeah.
I mean, is that silly money, Mariah Carey, on 38 million?
She doesn't need that much.
She doesn't need that much. She
But-
has to dress nice, though.
It's not her fault. I'd say it's bad business.
Okay.
Because EMI, did you say?
Yes.
Right. They've got rid of them staff.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey's left. Who's going to do the work?
Do you think Mariah should come back and do some temping?
Well, they should have got a loan and paid her.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Vicious circle, that.
Right.
Have you done a business degree or anything, have you?
Commerce.
You did commerce.
Yeah.
Where did you do that? What did you do with that?
At school, I'd learned how to fill out a cheque, pay a bill, and I think I had a trip round Kellogg's.
Did you get an O level or a GCSE?
We know he didn't.
You know, I did.
But was there a commerce exam, or was it just a division of
Can't
maths?
remember.
What did you do? Fill out a
Was
check?
it a subset of
It was
maths?
an option. It was like, if you want to do it, you can.
What
do
was it? Fill out a check.
Fill
Pay
out
a bill.
check,
Pay a bill.
Have a visit round
and
Kellogg's.
round Kellogg's, and I saw my sister's boyfriend there at the time. He sorted me out with some variety packs.
Really? What was in them?
You know, Rice Krispies and
Good stuff.
Cocoa Pops?
Space Dust or whatever it is.
Space Nuts.
So, sorry, that wasn't Ken Dodd, though.
No.
That was someone else, wasn't it? That was an aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't Special K. Oh dear.
What about this then? Home Secretary David Blunkett admits that muggers rule some streets.
Weird this, because when I was out with you,
I don't believe it's going to be weird, whatever you say,
no,
Carl. Go on.
when we were in that pub that night and we got talking about muggers and that, the tip is what I tend to do, because I nearly got mugged once. Act
You
mental.
what? You nearly got mugged once.
I nearly got mugged,
Yeah.
but I tried this technique of acting a bit mental.
Right, and how did you act mental?
Well, this guy wanted me trainers, and I was in Piccadilly Gardens in Manchester. It was quite late one night, and he come up. He said, "I want them trainers." I said, "You want them?" I said, "I worked hard for these." He said, "How dare you come to me asking?" And I got a bit livid, and he looked at me like, "Oh my God, he's got a right one here," and he left me.
Were you acting mental, or were you just mental?
No, I put it on a bit.
Were you not petrified, though?
Well, you don't think about it, do you, when you're sort of in the eyes of danger?
Well, not you, clearly, you're a brave man. So what did you say?
I just went a bit mad. I just kind of, because he said he wanted the trainers and they were dear ones at the time, and I just said, "No, you're not having these." I said, "I've crafted you." I said, "I wanted these trainers."
Yeah.
And went on to tell him how I work at printers and I don't enjoy it, and I put in all these hours and that, and I have to cycle home for about 5 miles, and
Did he give you his trainers?
Yeah.
Did he have a knife?
I
or
just
anything?
left. No, it didn't get that violent.
Well, that's very brave of you, Carl.
Yeah, it's
That's good
good.
advice, though. Just act mental.
See, what's actually tried it the other night.
Oh, Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
Well, she says, I've worked hard for these diamonds. Yeah. It's not easy being the daughter of Judy Garland. You don't know what it's like.
Finally, apparently there was a crook that got a security job at Heathrow. Right, he was a crook and he got a job at Heathrow.
Crook.
As robbers steal another £2 million. Apparently security down there is lax.
Yeah.
Is that a concern for you?
Is this another
Yeah.
2 million?
Yeah.
Why is all this money at the airport?
It's those sandwich shops. You know how they're really expensive, the sandwiches in when you're in a plane? They're like £2.50 for tuna, which is ludicrous.
Yeah.
That's basically the reason.
What do you mean, why is all this money at airports?
What is it doing there? Why?
Have a go. No, have a go answering this yourself. Why is anything at an airport?
It's going somewhere.
Or coming in from somewhere?
Yeah, but money you can sort it out through the bank, like phone banks and that.
Have you done commerce? You know a lot about paying bills and writing out checks. Yeah.
Tell us about Kellogg's.
What was it like? What was in the factory? Was it just like squashing bits of corn?
Pretty boring, really. Just loads of conveyor belts,
Yeah.
boxes of cornflakes everywhere. Just what you imagine.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
is
know
it
what
more,
we're meant to
this is
learn
where
from
you
it.
might be working? This is where you're likely to work if you
Possibly.
leave
There was
school.
2 trips. There was that and the trip to Manchester Evening News.
Okay.
And I left that early because I had a job in Cordon Bleu.
In Kellogg's.
Cordon Bleu, what's that?
It's like a supermarket.
Yeah?
And I had to leave the trip early, and the teacher went mad saying they thought I'd got lost on the, in the building and stuff.
What, you
It
didn't
caused
tell
a
anyone?
uproar. No, because it was like day 2 of working in this supermarket, and I couldn't be late. I thought by the time I explain where I've got to go and everything, I'll be even later.
Sure.
So I just left, and then apparently they were searching the building and everything for me.
How old
And I might have
were
been
you?
stuck in a printer. Don't know.
Stuck in a printer!
I don't know.
What was the printer's name?
You worked at a supermarket called Cordon Bleu.
Cordon Bleu!
Brilliant.
That's great, isn't it?
It's rubbish.
Oh.
Got sacked.
You've had
What did you get sacked for?
Messing about in a back in the car park round the back.
Yeah.
Right, there was a grid and all the concrete had gone funny. So when it rains, you got like a big lake,
Oh yeah.
right? And I got in. Do you know those big metal trolleys you get to like put all the food in whilst?
Oh
you know?
yeah.
And
yeah.
I got in one of them and pushed myself out into this lake.
Of cement.
No,
Of
it
water.
was full
Oh, it
of
was
water
water,
'cause it'd been
right,
raining.
right.
And I got stuck in the middle, right? And the boss was like, "Where's Karl? He's meant to be doing, facing up the beans." And I was like,
And you were
so-
stranded in a lake.
So someone said, "Oh, I saw him messing about out the back." He came out and saw me stuck in the middle of this lake in in a trolley, and he said, "Get back in." I said,
Would you say no? I'm filming sharks.
I said, "It's too deep. I can't get out. You'll have to pass me something." And he said, "I'm not passing you nothing." He said, "You can get out of there and walk through it." I said, "I'm not. I've got my trainers on, probably the same ones."
Yeah, you've risked
actually.
your life for them.
Yeah. I said, "I'm not getting these wet." I said, he said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I'm going to wait for the water to go down the grid." He said, "The grid's blocked. Now get out or you're sacked." I said, "Well, I'm not getting out." He said, "Right, you're sacked."
So you were sacked. How long did you have to wait for the water to go down the
In
grid?
the end, I did get bored, and I sort of did a bit of a leap and a jump and got 1 foot wet.
How long were you waiting?
Maybe about half an hour.
Just think of it. Just think. I mean, how did he get himself into that situation? That's fantastic. Should we play a record?
Oh, definitely. That's
Your
a
choice.
joy. Oh, you're an absolute pleasure. More White Van Man next time on the show. Electric Soft Parade. I keep trying to get the album for free from you, Karl. You've not sorted me out yet. I have to rely on other people to give me different copies
No,
of
I
the
did
different
try.
tracks.
I'll keep trying.
Please do. This is one called There's a Silence, Electric Soft Parade.
Gomez and Shot on XFM 101.9. Sorry, I was going to tell Steve something. Talk amongst yourselves. When you were out there, Johnny Mango phoned up and said to Karl, "Come on, when are we going to do this thing?" And Karl got all nervous. Right, and he went, "You don't want to do it, do you?" He said, "Well, it's going to get out of hand. I just wanted to go as high as a tree." And he went, "Well, you can. I'll hold you down with a rope." He went, "Yeah," but he said, "But when the crowd are there and they're all screaming higher, I'll feel the pressure and have to go along with it." What crowd? What crowd is this? Higher! No, higher!
We don't live in a medieval era. There's not going to be dancing bears and tumbling midgets. Well, I don't know, that's an idea.
Hold on. If there's anyone got any of those.
Tumbling
Memo.
midgets would be amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Less balloons, cheaper to do.
Oh, you're going
No,
up.
you're
Don't
going
worry
up
about
with
that,
them.
mate.
No, you're going up with,
definitely
not
going
just,
up.
no.
With a midget under either arm. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, it's time for the re-education of Karl Pilkington. This week Karl was studying the life and times of Winston Churchill. What do you make of it, Karl? What did Churchill do for
Right.
you?
Last week I made a bit of an error with Hitler.
Yeah, you
Go on,
did
why?
Tried
well
to
with it.
remember too much, and it was way too much for me.
Sure.
So what I've done this week, sort of flicked through, got a few of the basic facts.
Yeah.
And what I've learned, right? Bit weird the way all these people have something in common, that they're all a bit weird when they're younger.
Okay.
They've
Go
got
on,
some sort of illness.
Go on.
Well, Rasputin, he wasn't well as a kid.
Yep.
Che Guevara.
Oh, this is Rasputin, the mad monk, wasn't well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Che Guevara.
Asthma.
Asthma, really bad asthma.
Mm.
Hitler, he was
Only
a
one
bit,
ball.
bit mental.
Only one. His mother.
He was
got
a bit mental. That could be libelous.
Yeah.
And who've we done? And Churchill.
Yeah.
Very
got lost
weak,
there.
very weak child.
Was he?
He only spoke to his dad 4 times in his whole lifetime.
Really?
Yeah, didn't get on with his dad.
Right.
And I think one of the times when his dad spoke to him, he was having a go, saying he didn't do as well in the army as he wanted him to.
Right.
So that's pretty sad bit I picked up of it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So that spurred him on, anyway.
yeah. I'm not going in all the ins and outs. Very important bloke.
Okay.
No, seriously. I mean,
Yeah.
your dad bought the tapes, didn't he?
Yes.
And I can understand why. Because he did change a lot for us. You know what I mean? We wouldn't be sat here now talking like this.
Why?
We could have been German.
Yep.
He didn't let that happen.
No.
Everyone had a go at him, right? When I think it was Chamberlain who was in power,
Yeah.
and he was like saying, "Don't be trusting that Hitler,"
Yeah.
you know. And everyone was like, "Look, stop causing trouble." Chamberlain sorted it out, you know. He sorted out a peace agreement,
Yeah.
and he was like, "No, I don't trust him." And everyone's like, "Oh, you know, you're just causing trouble." You know, everyone else is happy. Then it turned out that Hitler did actually do the dirty.
Yeah.
And try and come over.
I remember didn't he do something? He started a war or
There was
something.
a conflict of some kind.
Yeah. Started a problem, and everyone went, "Hang on a minute, that Churchill knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get him back in charge."
Sure.
And they got him in, and Hitler was scared of him because he knew that he wasn't going to be having any lies or anything. He couldn't try it on with Churchill.
Yeah.
And,
Especially when he was a little bit pissed up and coked and with a
Who
big
was?
cigar. Churchill.
He wasn't he wasn't doing that.
I think a lot were during the war, in the war cabinet. I think they had to have things to keep him awake all night and stuff. And he certainly liked a brandy.
Rick, Winston Churchill was coked up, was he? I mean, sorry, this is something I wasn't aware of.
If there are any historians listening, if I'm wrong, I'm
Was that
very
in the
sorry.
World at War?
No, I don't
Winston
think
Churchill
so.
was
Any historians or experts on war did Churchill and not some of the other people during I think the First and Second World War take a little bit of cocaine?
So when it said that Hitler,
Doctors certainly used to.
Hitler liked cakes, would they be like the funny sort of cakes?
No, he probably did like a little bit of Madeira cake.
Right.
Yeah, there was probably nothing like that. Sorry, carry on.
So anyway,
He beat the Bosch.
yeah, did all
Oh,
that.
that's steady on. His personal life's nothing to do with it.
And the most amazing bit is, right, he wasn't fit, and he had a couple of
Well,
strokes.
he's a good-looking bloke in many ways.
No, he had a couple of strokes, but he had a stroke on, say...
We've had that. He
We've
beat
had-
the
we-
Bosch. He
we
likes to
talked
have a
about
couple of
beating the
strokes.
Bosch,
Let's not get into innuendo, Carl. It's stupid.
Right, say he had like a stroke on a Tuesday. He was up and fighting again on a Wednesday.
Really?
He was a strong bloke.
Yeah.
And then he died at about the age of 86 or something.
He's a good lad, wasn't he?
He was really good.
Yeah.
Is he the one you favour most of all the
I'd
ones
say
you've
out of all, I mean, Rasputin, I don't understand why he got, like I said, I don't know why they made a book on him.
No.
He just didn't deserve it.
No.
Che Guevara, you know, he had his time, I suppose, and did a bit good for certain people.
Sure.
Sorted Cuba out.
Yeah.
Doesn't really affect me.
No.
Hitler, I mean, enough said.
Yeah.
Bad bloke. Churchill sorted it all out.
Yeah.
And like I
So
said,
your favourite out of the four of them, the of all those four, is Churchill.
Yeah. I think he's
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
I agree. I agree with you. I think.
What I love with your kind of sort of summary of these people's incredible lives is the way that it's almost like I remember in Looking magazine. I don't remember Looking. It was the Junior
Yeah, I
TV
remember
Times.
Looking.
They used to have half a page, which was a comic strip,
Yeah.
summarising someone's life. You might have, say, 5 Star, the story of 5 Star,
Yeah.
and he'd have a picture. I always remember the Roger Moore one
Yeah.
was a picture of like Roger's parents. It was like Roger Moore was born in 1930. Picture of Roger's parents. Roger grew up during the war. Picture of Roger
Yeah.
running down the street, right?
Yeah.
This is a school kid with a Spitfire coming behind him like he was going to try and shoot him.
Mr. Smith, surely.
Exactly, Mr. Smith, yeah. Roger took up acting. Picture
Yeah.
of Roger like acting.
Yeah.
Roger became James Bond. Roger's now a popular, star in his own right, and does a lot of work for charity. Brilliant. It summed up the whole thing in kind of
I think
5
they used to
pictures.
have that in one of the TV Times or the
Yeah, I
Sun.
think they may have
I
done.
remember sort of when it was Tina Turner. What's it? Born Sarah May Bullock. Then it was Nutbush City Limits. Stop hitting me, Ike.
Yeah.
And then you're simply
Exactly.
the best, and that was it. It was
Exactly.
it's
And
great.
that's very much what the how your summary of great events is.
But I'd say if you didn't know about Churchill, you've learnt a bit today.
I just want to
Especially-
say, can people call in to
yeah.
all these
If you
fellas
want.
taking cocaine?
What's-
I think
what's-
I'm right.
what's the
It's
number?
08700 800 1234.
Yeah.
Give us a call, XFM 104.9.
Did Winston Churchill and various other dignitaries take coke during the war?
During the war, saying up for the war effort, but the emergency summits and meetings, I think it was. I think it's been documented. I could be wrong, and let me tell you now, it's not happening today. Wow.
Pete, you're on there.
He's there, isn't he, to save me? For Nancy, XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant
Hi.
and Karl Pilkington. I'm getting excited now because we've had loads of calls and emails, not only backing me up, but going a little bit further. Apparently, Johnny Mango called in again. He's become our sort of official researcher on this show. There is evidence that Queen Victoria in Balmoral, with a young house guest, Winston Churchill, used to consume cocaine-filled lozenges. So, there you go. Also, MDMA was a precursor of sort of ecstasy, a derivative, and that was big in the day, giving soldiers, a little pick-me-up. So it's not so mad, is it?
It sort of
Winston
makes
Churchill
sense
taking
because
cocaine,
he
is it?
was into his speeches and that, and they say that coke gives you sort of, you know, the balls to stand up and say like.
Not that that's a good thing. And
No,
you
it's
should-
not.
No,
Definitely not.
no.
Right? But apparently it makes you confident, doesn't it? So you can stand up and say, you know, we're going to fight them on the beaches
Yeah.
and all that, and sound
Yeah.
like you mean it.
It's exactly, yeah. When he was sort of like, you know, a little bit pissed up with his cigar on, coked off his tits, he wanted to fight. He didn't care where it was. He'd fight on a beach. He didn't care. He didn't care if he got sand in his new trainers.
Exactly, he was boozed up.
Yeah, yeah. You want to fight? Yeah, that's why he was coming hard.
He was very much, you got to think of him as the Liam Gallagher of his day.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Bad.
Are we allowed to talk about this? I mean, I don't mean in terms of referencing drugs, but are we allowed to, is this like libelous to Winston Churchill?
One,
Or
you
his
can't
family.
libel the dead.
Yeah, but
Two,
can you-
it's a
is
lot
that
of
only
it-
in America, maybe?
I'm asking, and we're not saying, you know. Two, I think you'd probably going to do also a fair comment. Three, we say we were joking.
Yeah.
4, it's a satire.
Yeah. 5, we love him.
5, we're not condoning drugs in any way.
6, this is Dermot O'Leary's show.
I didn't have a go at him anyway. I said he's alright. If there's any law against Rasputin, we might be in trouble.
Law against
A law against
you did
Rasputin.
willfully Raspute
Yeah.
all over
You
the
did
airwaves.
slag off Russia's greatest love machine.
Yeah. You didn't shoot him till he was dead, did you?
Oh.
Put some poison into
I'll
his
tell you
wine.
this, if there's any other historical questions that people want answered, then we're the men. Because really, with the three of us, our knowledge of the fact that the Hindenburg was filled with helium,
Yeah.
the kind of coke habits and various drug habits of Britain's most famous political leader,
Yeah.
we've got the answers to all of it.
Einstein,
Go on.
I found out in the week that he didn't talk till he was 6. See, it's all these people who are weird.
Churchill couldn't read, could he, till he was about 8 or 9?
Really?
Yeah. So there you go. He got a D in history apparently,
Yeah.
GCSE. Just one better. No, but Karl called me in the week and he was a little bit stressed because he's had a bad week now. He got stressed about Hitler and Churchill, and I said, well, we're chill out a little bit, and I'll teach him something a little bit cosier. And I said, what about animals? No, you know, not frightening other animals. You're interested in animals, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, and he went, all right then. And then he went, okay, here's a question for you, Clever. So there's 3 animals without ears. He said, and I've told you one. And I went, well, that's the snake, because he was talking about the snake. I went, hold on, Karl, there's loads of animals without ears. He went, there's not, there's 3. I went, there's loads. I said, jellyfish, worms, single-cell protozoa, peripherous. But he went, oh, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Animals, proper animals. I went, they are animals. He went, no, proper animals. And I went, do you mean mammals? He went, what are you on about? I said, are these animals, have they got legs, and are they fur-bearing, right? And he went, one is. They've got legs. I went, I don't know, I give up. He went, right, the turtle. I went, right, yeah. And he went, and the bumblebee. He said, that's the one with fur. That's the one with fur. The one, what are you thinking? What is in your head, Karl?
Which has got the most fur, a bee or a turtle?
It's not fur.
What is it?
Well, it's, you know.
He's done you there,
it's
Gervais.
pseudo hairs, isn't it? It's like it's a hair. It's a keratin thing. It's not like we have, like mammals grow fur. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not convinced.
So go
when we
on,
say
then.
that, when we say like fur, mammals are warm-blooded creatures.
Yeah.
Often, usually placental. There's a few exceptions, right? That give their milk to their young, nurture their young, and they have fur.
Have you heard about oysters? Oysters. They 1 minute they're a man, then they're a woman, then they're a man again.
Like Eddie Izzard. Now that's libelous. He's a transvestite, could I say? He's not a transsexual. Let's say that straight away. I'm retracting that.
Right, go on then. Give us
What?
some more facts.
No, I've got you Aesop's Fables.
No, but you had some more facts you told me that were dead good. I just wondered if Steve knew them.
What? What do you want to know?
The ones that you read out to me. You had one about the spiky thing.
Go on.
Porcupine.
Give me a clue.
How many spikes has a porcupine got?
Dunno.
How many was it?
I think it was about 10,000. But these aren't the most interesting facts, are they?
It's alright.
It's all right though, isn't it? Yeah. And he went, but how can they say that? You could say that, you know, we've got a certain amount of hairs in our head. I went 100,000 average. He went, yeah, but I haven't. So how do we know that that porcupine that they've counted is the same for all of them?
Might have had alopecia.
yeah, he might be a particularly hairy one. You know what I mean? Right, you've got a, do you know what a fable is? I tried to explain briefly. Do you know what a fable is?
I've got a rough idea.
Okay, it's a thing that uses sort of metaphor, analogy, just to explain sort of morals. I mean, they're very old for a start, and it's all. I'll give you an example of one. A quick one. Oh, the one about the dog with two bones. He goes to a dog's got a bone. He sees a reflection in the lake, and he thinks, "Oh, that dog's got a nice bone. I'll have that." And as he goes to get that one in the reflection, he drops the one he's got, and that's one about, you know.
I think
I
was told one when I was younger.
Go on.
I think it was one. This young lad, he's got a dog, right, and he's about 8 years old, and this dog, he's had it since he was about 4, and it's a bit tired now, and he chucks sticks for it, and he doesn't go for it, and he's saying to his mum, "Oh, I want a new dog, because this one's useless, it doesn't do it doesn't have any fun with me." So they say, "Oh no, but Rover's a good little dog, you should look after it." And he's like, "Oh, I don't like it, I want a new one." So they buy him a new puppy, and it's running around, yapping about, and he's loving it, and he's playing around with it in the grass. And then one day he goes to the park, and he's messing about and rolling about with it, and he falls into the lake, right? And the little puppy's like yapping at him, and he's going, "Help me, help me," and the little dog's yapping. And then the old dog comes and gets his collar, and it pulls him out of the lake, and he goes, "Oh God, why did I forget about you? You're the better dog." And he loved that one again rather than the puppy.
I got a feeling that was Lassie.
Well, yeah, that was an episode of Lassie. What's the moral? What's the moral there, Carl? What's that telling? What's that explaining through analogy?
Sort of, don't forget the old.
Look after old people. I remember there was one I heard once about a young boy who got trapped in a lake inside a cage.
But he loved his trainers so much.
His trainers so much he wasn't going to get them wet.
But
even though he had to get out there,
and even though he thought that was the important thing because it's material value, he actually drowned, and the trainers were no good to him then.
I'll say that. Okay.
Hives, hate to say, I told you so. Now I want to clear a couple of things up. Obviously, me and Steve, we love Karl. This is the things we give Karl to read and talk about. It's not to embarrass him or stress him out at all. We genuinely like his view of the world.
Yep.
In fact, we did an interview yesterday with a bloke from the Standard who really liked the show and said, "Do you like Karl? Because you take the piss out of him a lot." We just like to say, we love Karl. I said to that bloke, I said, "It's like I've got a new kitten. I can't wait to get in and see his little face on Saturdays," didn't I?
Yes.
And I think I'm worried because I thought I'd give Karl something he was really get his teeth into with these Aesop fables. It involves animals and little stories. But I've given him a couple and he doesn't seem to be that impressed or understand the concept.
It's just that you said you'd bring in an animal fact book as well, and I can't see that anywhere.
No, well, you can only read one book at a time, can't you?
Why didn't you bring the other one in first?
Well, it's big. I've got to work my way up to it. Sometime I'll probably have to get a cab because it's a bit big. Now listen, I'll give this one. This is an easy one. Now just think, right? Think just what it means. They're not that hidden. They're not that cryptic. Just think what this means, okay? Okay. When the hares addressed a public meeting and claimed that all should have fair shares, the lions answered, "A good speech, hairy feet, but it lacks claws and teeth such as we have."
How would you use that?
No. What do you think that means? This is translated from the, I don't know, Greek or something. I don't know. It was Aesop. Where's he from?
Greek.
Yeah. So shall I do it in my own language? Okay. So what would happen if there's hares and they have a meeting in the jungle with like loads of lions and go, "Hey, hold on, wait a minute. I think we should all be equal and share everything, all right?" And the lions go, "Well, yeah, it's easy for you to say. We've got claws and teeth."
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's saying like, course the hares want that because it's better for them. The lions get nothing out of it because they're already king of the jungle.
That's right. So it's negotiating from weakness. Anyone can negotiate from strength, but negotiating from weakness is it's be lovely. It's a lovely utopian look at the animal
But
kingdom.
the way you said it is better than the way they worded it.
Well, that's because Ricky's very much the modern Neeson. I mean, many people have thought that. You know, that's why he's getting a lot of awards with the TV show. For him, that's a favourite.
So look, I'll take that home and read ones you like and tell me about the ones you like. Ones that click. I don't care if you only come in with like one or two. Go, I'll tell you what, Rick, that's there's one thing that I've learnt from that. You know, because sometimes you can know all these phrases, and until something happens, you don't think, you know, everyone's heard, you know, I don't know, to err is human, to forgive divine. And then something, you know, might happen, and you go, oh, that's what that means, that's amazing. So, you know.
Do you know any, Steve, offhand?
What's that?
A fable.
Well, I would imagine that the most famous one I've always remembered is the lion with the thing in its hoof. Do you remember that?
Paw.
The lion, yeah, with the spike in its paw, and a smaller animal gets out for it, but it still attacks it anyway.
Well, that's life, isn't it?
Well, I read one the other day, actually, which was very interesting. It was one that the famous film director Orson Welles said.
Oh, yeah.
Which he said, apparently there was a bear going across a lake, wading through the lake, and a scorpion said, well, let me go on your back, will you? Come on, just let me go on your back, we'll go across, it'll be brilliant. He goes, well, no, you'll just sting me. You go, don't be stupid, if I sting you, you'll die, and we'll both drown. And he goes, oh, fair enough.
Who was doing the stinging?
The scorpion.
Scorpion.
Right, okay.
And the bear's wading through the water.
Yeah.
So the scorpion jumps on the back, and they wade through the water, and halfway across, the scorpion stings the bear. And the bear goes, well, we're both going to die now. He goes, yeah, it's my nature.
I thought he was going to say, I can swim.
Oh, you're the best.
What's the one about,
Does that mean anything to you? It's my nature, i.e., you know, that's in my nature.
That's the way it is.
That's what I do, yeah. I'm a scorpion. Yeah. One of my favourite ones.
These don't mean anything to you, do they? I mean, what I'm saying is you're not impressed by them.
They're alright.
What about this? What about this one?
Don't trust
Yeah,
bears or
here's
whatever.
one of my favourites. What?
He said, well, why not just say, don't trust bears?
The bear's the one that was too trustworthy. Don't trust scorpions.
Yeah.
Right, here's one of my favourite ones of all time, okay? A lion is dying, he's an old lion, he's in the front of his cave, and all the animals come around, like the foxes and the hyenas, and the rabbits, and they're all taking the piss out of him, and they're laughing at him, and they're laughing and going, you can't fight us now, kind of, and just before he dies, he goes, fine, but I was a lion once. What does that mean?
Don't know.
Well, he's saying it's better to have lived and had what I had, because I was great, if only for a short time, and you lot are still alive, but you're nothing. You're rabbits and hares. I was a lion once, so you know. I'm
Are they
happy.
always using animals for these stories?
Well, yeah, I could change
And
it to refrigerators and household appliances if it would make it help, but animals, you know.
I remember the one about being ill a lot, and you say something about,
Go on.
you know, if you keep doing that, if you keep having time off, I won't believe you.
That's the boy who cried wolf. Is
Yeah.
that right? Yeah. Do you know that one?
Have you heard the
I'm
famous one? This is possibly the most powerful one. When you're pulling a face, and they say, well, if you
Wind
keep doing
sticks.
that, the wind changes.
I've
You'll
heard
stay
that.
like that. Because you know that's
That's
scientifically proven.
That is.
That can happen.
That can happen.
Should we have hip hop hooray? Are
Yeah.
you queued up for that?
No, but go on, you,
Carl, sort it out, mate.
I was gonna...
No, come on, this is what I asked you to play, mate. If you've not, you know, you're getting too big for your boots now with your showbiz lifestyle. You're not paying
Yeah.
attention, are you? You're not playing
Yeah.
the record if we want you to play it.
Heat magazine's favourite.
Yeah. Okay, so,
Oh, you dropped that, you've
CD now,
embarrassed
that's
yourself.
clumsy.
Oh.
You know, you're, you know, with the big
I
name
can't
DJ,
believe you're
got
not.
the box
Oh, fables are great.
to him. He's not impressed, is he, Rick?
No, I am. I mean, you know, once I take this book home tonight and that,
Yeah.
have a read, I might change my mind on them next week.
You're coming all stressed. And
I'm not impressed with the ones you've been talking about, I must admit.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Sure.
this album is by this group Nerd, who are big hip-hop and R&B
Oh,
producers in the States.
yeah.
We've played a track from them in the past, Bobby James. This album's been re-recorded, I don't know why exactly, with live instruments. You don't get many R&B and hip-hop records now with live instruments, so it's pretty...
It's all computers, isn't it, Steve, these
That's true
days, and
enough.
drum machines.
And there is a forthcoming single. I suspect it might be this track, Rockstar. I'm not going to play that. I'm going to play track 2, Things Are Going to Get Better.
New Order, here to stay. Sadly, we're not here to stay, Steve. We've only got about 2 more minutes.
That's true enough.
Yeah?
Well, I think that's just time for some interesting facts that Johnny Mango, our researcher from loosecontrol.com, has emailed us. A few familiar ones, favourite ones of yours, I think.
Go on. Any ones I don't know, though?
I think you know this one, don't you? A pig's orgasm lasts for 30 minutes.
I know. And a pig can't actually look directly up. Wouldn't
It can
thought
look
so
directly
after
up.
30 minutes of coming.
No, absolutely.
Daddy, be careful here.
That's incredible.
Remember what happened to Tom Bins? Go on.
Humans and dolphins are the only species that have sex for pleasure.
Bonobos do as well. They've rediscovered, which is a
Bonobo?
a chimpanzee, like a chimpanzee.
Right.
So, yeah. So it's 3 now.
Can't believe dolphins are getting
They're
more
3.
action than
They're all at it now. Dolphins get yeah.
me. Polar bears are left-handed.
Yeah.
Which
True,
is
yeah.
extraordinary. I
Yeah.
don't quite know how they worked that out. Did they give them spelling tests? Or writing tests?
Oh yeah, they probably just do it. It's probably the paw they use to hide up the black nose during a hunt.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. Some lions mate over 50 times a day.
Yeah, not every day of the year.
Okay, they don't do that every day.
No.
Okay, because
No.
again, I'm worried.
No.
They start, I didn't think that dolphins...
What day of the year do
could
you
have
do it 50 times? What is it? It's coming up to it. It's April, isn't it? You'd like to get out there.
I have a special day, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we could coincide that with the balloon event. It'll just be me quietly humping in the corner. Volunteers, welcome to email now, you know. And all the proceeds go to charity.
If you are a desperate lioness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Butterflies taste with their feet.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
That is interesting.
But they don't eat much, do they? Because they only live a day.
Good point.
They wouldn't need to eat.
An ostrich's eye is bigger than its brain.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
extraordinary.
That is, yeah.
And the
But Carl, how big are your eyes?
cruel. Finally, I think we've discussed this before, haven't we? A cockroach will live 9 days without its head
Yeah.
before it starves to death.
Yeah, that's only because it can't get water and food. Yeah, it would be quite happy going around doing its normal things.
Yeah.
I mean,
Probably to work.
If you're just as good without your head as with your head,
May as well not have a head.
I don't see the point. Well, that was thanks to Johnny Mangler there of what's his website called? Who's turned into a sort of volunteered researcher.
Yeah.
He's very fast. very quick.
Losecontrol.com. Can I just say as well, we've had lots of emails from different people just saying they enjoyed the show and offering little tidbits and things. Nick Wilson, Sarah and Lauren, Ken, Dan, Jane, she wanted some Ash, we didn't play Ash, never mind.
Oh.
Lee, Jez, Derry, there's loads of people there.
Well, I'm gonna again. We were talking earlier about you not caring about being like a geek or a freak
Oh,
or
right,
not
it's not.
trendy. No, I'm just saying.
I am trendy, yeah.
And I know, yeah. And I'm going to play a bit of an easy listening. I apologise to those people who still tune in and expect to hear 2 hours of new metal or gorillas. And this is a very old-fashioned, lovely tune. It's Bread. I hope you enjoy it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Bread.
Bread.